Welcome to another exciting edition of the Colin Nation Radio Show. Welcome. Thanks for joining me and College Studio. We had some situations going on yesterday. The president to the people, the victims of the transatlantic slave trade, and as usual, the FBA people with their bullhorns and their ignorance were out there making a fool out of themselves and embarrassing us. The FBA, you listen to them talk, these are black trash. These are uneducated black people, black trash. They just showed themselves what they are. But the rest of the black leadership that was there, and the president of Ghana spoke so dignified, and the FBA just made themselves look like a fool. I think this is the time they really jumped the shark, because the FBA is claiming victory because all they do is hoop and holler and yell. But nevertheless, the resolution was passed. And so Ghana's on its way to being the representation of the global reparation fight. Now, when you got topics like that Ghana wins at the UN FBA Big Mad, now it's going down tonight. It's going to get heated. Passions will be raised, tempers will flare, and everything. And so, what I'm saying is the right thing to do is to like, share, and subscribe, because this is a Colin Rumble tonight. The absolute worst African American in the world. You know, man, I'm so worse, man. I think hell sent me back. I'm absolutely the worst African American that ever was ever created. So stop what you're doing, like, share, and subscribe, tell a friend, tell somebody that the College Genesis is on tonight. I should show up in a StreamYard, this example, click on the comment to show it on stream, you know. Yeah, okay, it's fine. But yeah, folks, so this is big, this is really a big win. Now the FBA people are mad. Hopefully some of these FBA people could call in tonight and give me their grievances. Why are you mad? A reparations resolution has passed. And people are like, well, we don't want to go in and get my reparations check. You are not getting no reparations check. You don't exist. The black FBA does not exist. There's no such people as FBA. There's no land. There's no territory. There's no flag. There's no entity. You don't exist. Just like the Jews did not exist till the state of Israel was created. So therefore, since you don't have a nation state and there's a cause to be had, it could be anything. Let me tell you something right now. What you're going to have now in the future sets a precedent, right? I think the government of Cameroon could come and say, you know something, I want to sue on behalf of the people that of the massacre of the people of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm going to sue for reparations. What can you do? They would say, well, those people in Tulsa, Oklahoma was descendants of Cameroonians. Well, it's like this. It's like this. The black man in America, right? All you need to know, Marcus, is you get none. You get none. This is what we decided when we thought the 14th Amendment, 15th Amendment, whatever like that, or that. This is what we decided when we said we didn't want a nation state of our own. We didn't look into ourselves and say, look at everything that happened to us, and then say we are a people and we're justified and come together on our own land and have our own civilization and have a government that speaks for us. Since you don't have that, you're going to be cuckolded while everybody else is getting over in the world, making deals. Everybody, look, the rest of the world is moving on. This is a power move by Ghana. These African countries are on the rise. Black America is falling. Why do you think they look down on Black Americans? Because they come here and look at the situation, and you're at the bottom of this civilization, and that's why they look down on you. You call yourself FBA all you want. That's just what it is. Yeah, but the bottom line, our ancestors were fools. We died for a country that wasn't ours. That's why we kind of keep saying that. Why our ancestors died for this country? That was the dumbest freaking thing. Why did we freaking die for a country that fucking never gave a shit about us? That's our fault. We're fools. And so the bottom line is this, the only future for the black race is we need an Afghanistan. That's the next phase. But hopefully this resolution right here will start the discussion. Okay, if you believe slavery was a crime against humanity and America's under indictment for that, right? Now it's time to talk about an Afghanistan, a nation state of our own. That's what we need. If we do not have an Afghanistan, we have absolutely nothing. So this is what we're talking about tonight. We can't be mad at Ghana. Ghana did what it has to do. And also, like I said, Ghana's argument is that Ghana lost millions of people and lives in the transatlantic slave trade. So they figure like this is a loss to them. Yeah, we will go extinct with our nation. Already, everybody's picking Black America apart. Like you're pick poor Robin clean, pick poor Robin clean. I would have, but it wasn't good to eat. The bottom line is this: it's like pick poor Robin clean. The Haitians are coming up and saying, you know something, we're gonna decide to take New Orleans as part of our culture. We're gonna call the Southern United States the Caribbean now, the Northern Caribbean. There's no Black America anymore, right? What's up, Dave? The Ghanaians now hijacked and took Michael B. Jordan. Now Jamaicans are trying to hijack hip hop and say they created it. There's no end. You know. Now every time you talk about things like Black, there's people trying to say Black Wall Street in Tulsa, right? They try to inject themselves. Wasn't the Haitians that went to Tulsa? What the fuck would Haitians be doing in Oklahoma? They would make it seem like, they came there. Wherever you see Black people successful in history, they try to inject themselves and say they were there and they did it and whatnot. Black America can't do nothing. If you let them, they would take all our heroes, our inventors, everything like that, and contribute to some fucking Caribbean or some African that came here. We got nothing. We have nothing protecting our history and nothing like that. Because white people ain't gonna do it. White people would love to see us disappear, and replaced by Black immigrants, people they can control. We are always going to be a threat to them. Our existence, our history, who we are is a threat to them. So when people say we fought for this country, that's the dumbest fucking thing we could ever did. We should have parted ways with America 200 years ago. We would be in a better position if we would got the fuck out of here and whatnot. I know we would have been better because I look at Liberia right now. I said, look, aside from infrastructure stuff, had it not been for this civil war over here, Liberia is way better than what Black America could have ever been, Be honest with you. So like I said, yeah, nationhood is the answer. Now, if you don't like nationhood, don't want nationhood, then countries like Ghana, pretty soon Angola, and these other countries are going to start speaking for Black people's behalf. You got nothing to say. You ain't got no power. So sit your powerless FBA ass down, Yeah, but you had people out there at the protest, man. You had Betsy Mendick out there. FBA all day, FBA all day. Nevertheless, the ceremony went off without a hitch or not, this and the other thing. And John Muhammad delivered a keynote speech or not and moved the whole entire world. So it is. So, so Chuko, shut up. I'm not in the mood for you, man. Really, I will kick you the fuck out of here tonight. I am not in the mood for you tonight, man. Chuko's been listening to me for like a year. Why is he so fucking stupid? I think Chuko, I don't know if Chuko's slow or retarded or something like that, but he says the dumbest stuff. And he says the dumbest freaking things. He came up last time he was on the show. Chuko says, what did he say about Donald Trump? He didn't even know that the Central Park thing. Yeah. We was talking about Donald Trump was helping Jesse Jackson because he felt guilty about this. No, Donald Trump working with Jesse Jackson for 84 campaign and 88 campaign happened before the Central Park thing. That was 1989. Chuko do like this. Chuko, I don't need you to be on my side. You're a fucking Nigerian. You know? The last thing I need is a fucking Nigerian on my fucking side, man. I don't need nobody stabbing me in the back. You know? You guys aren't worthy, trustworthy. You know, I really don't. Like I say, some Africans I trust, some I don't. Don't trust Nigerians. I'm sorry. You guys are with the white man. You guys go do your thing. You know. No, black power is black power. Not no damn American power. We're black America power. You know. And really, that's all we need is each other, man. I tell you right now, I was talking to Val Thomas, right? International Focus Man. I might play the video, right? And him and I talked off the record. He told me, he's funny. He said, "Yo, look, man, let me tell you something off the record because we had some stuff to say about Liberia. We're both in Liberia, African American. He's been here since 2004. You know, he's been here for 22 years, right? In Liberia, fell in love with the country. Anyway, his International Focus magazine is headquartered in Monrovia. I interviewed him on my YouTube page. You go look, check the video out, my latest video. Interviewed him, right? We're off the record, but he told me even in the video something that really stuck with me. Something that really stuck me. What he said. I asked him about. He had a vision for International Focus magazine while he was working in China, and he's with the Houston Chamber of Commerce, right? He's working in China. He said, "I want to build or have a magazine that's talked about Black people travels around the world, investments around the world, and stuff like that." Right? He said, "But I knew nothing about a magazine. So, but what got me was he said he knew people in his network, right? He says, this person could be a graphic designer. This person could work in sales. This person could be marketing. This person could be a good editor, or something like that, or publicist, whatever like that." So he pulled all these people, together with these Black people with their skills, and they made it happen, right? The key thing I want to talk about is he didn't say I had an idea, and so he went to found some white folks. He went and did. He told me something. He said, "Look, all the things needed to build Africa right now," he says, "they're all right here in Black America. We got people with talents that friggin', I mean, Black America is amazing with the talents. Our talents are hidden. People don't know we exist. We got so much talent and so much opportunity as far as business and whatnot. All we need to do is a place to exercise it." But he said, like I said, he says he knows he's deep in countries. He says, for the most part, Africans fear us. They fear us. He said they are afraid of Black America, for some reason. I have no idea what it is. They fear us more than they fear white people or Chinese, whatever like that. That's what you're up against. So the future of the Pan-African movement, I don't know. I don't know what's in the African man's heart and whatnot, maybe because it's a self-esteem issue. I don't know if it's jealousy or envy or whatever like that. But then again, we do have a commanding presence on the world scene. And people understand when they get to know us that we're not like what people think we are. We're not arrogant people. We're down-to-earth people and everything like that. We're not the arrogant people they try to portray us as, The problem is Africa and Black Americans have demonstrated they longer live outside of white. Look, Chuko, shut up. I'm in fucking here in Liberia. You know how many Black Americans live here right now? I met a guy yesterday actually, Black American guy. Knew he was a Black American guy. So right from one thing, like I said, and except for like I said, a lot of Black American brothers here, African American brothers, they seem to be kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe they're like all nerds and shit, But there's a lot of Black Americans here, in Liberia, So this idea that Black Americans can't live without white people is the stupidest fucking thing I ever. The problem is most places around the world, except for Asia, there's a large number of Black women in Asia, are not developed. Africans have not built the sort of societies that you can bring a first world people. Black America is not, it's about white people. It's about a first world. Black America can't live in a first world country. What Chuko is saying is only white people could build a first world civilization. Black America is a first world people. We're industrialized people. We would die in a third world environment, you know? So shut up, Baby Rodriguez, we can say what we want. The people are basically more and more coming to our side. Thank God for Ghana. This is the Pan African movement's winning. Shifting. The FBA is a joke. Everybody's laughing at it. Ghana should be the least mentioned reparation for a year return. But they need money, slave castles. Yeah, I don't agree with Ghana with the slave castles and all that. Yeah. No, it's not that they ain't set up to live in Africa. They're not set up to live under African rule. In Black America, the people I know, the Black people I know are capable of building a nation ourselves. We are capable, you know. So that's why we're here, me and Val Thomas, all us in Liberia, because we're trying to salvage the proof of Liberia is proof that we can build a nation. And we did that 200 years ago. Imagine what we could do now with all our HBCUs, colleges, scientists, doctors, everything, millionaires and billionaires. Of course, we could build a nation, you know, but we cannot build a nation with Africans because they have a different culture. Their culture is backwards. That wouldn't work. We need our own space. Then you could attract Black Americans. You could attract Black people from America there. Liberia could attract Black Americans too because of the history. Ghana could attract Black Americans because of the culture. South Africa is another place Black people go to and everything. Yeah, Rwanda, Kenya, nah, yeah, I don't see it. Tanzania, maybe a little bit, but for the most part, there's only a few African countries that could bring Black Americas to say like this. Southern Africa is a great place because Southern Africa is a first world, is a first world infrastructure. Heritage Americans, shut up. Shut the entire F up. The bottom line is this: Africans have not really had a chance because they were handed countries and they didn't know what to do with them. They didn't know that they were handed countries just to facilitate. Look, this is how it is. Europeans set up in Africa with Wall Street Rothschild banks. They have mining companies, all these things like that. Even people don't realize, right? When you got countries like Ivory Coast and stuff like that, most of everything like the telecommunications, everything are controlled by French companies. Everything you see, mostly in West Africa, is controlled by outside. Everything modern in Africa is controlled by Europeans, Americans, Asians, Lebanese, everybody else. Still like that to this day. So when you handed these people countries over to them, right, all they had to do was keep the masses of their people in line. And the little bit of money that they generate in tax revenue or foreign aid, they got to feed the population for them. Africans don't make money or eat off of the wealth or the industry that they generate. That wealth that they generate through their industries or mining companies and everything goes to outside forces. It is what it is. Baby Rodriguez, it's nice of you to try to take a dump on me, but you guys, was that you out there with the bullhorn? FBA all day, FBA all day. You sold our ancestors. You sold our ancestors. I mean, you guys look ridiculous out there today. I gotta tell you, you guys look freaking utterly ridiculous out there. Yeah, so sorry about that, folks. So sorry about that thing. But yeah, so Ghana wins big at the UN. It was like I was nervous there for a while because FBA said they were gonna be out there in force, man. They're gonna be out there in force. They're gonna be out there telling Ghana how they really feel and all stuff like that. And I'm like, man, with the painstaking thing of showing up and getting y'all the reparation discussion on the books. Ain't saying you're gonna get checked, but at least the ball's rolling. Now you could talk about settlement with white America because the UN says slavery is bad and everything. Now you could take the United States court and everything like that. But what you guys are doing with Tariq Nasheed, y'all, that was man. It just not, it's opportunity all over the place. We stick together, you know, stuff like that. Black America needs an, can't be beholden in the United States. Oh man, black people lead everything. It's hilarious, man. Like I said, but I was watching something today, right? And you guys, these white people are just so friggin' mad. They're like, how dare you? She's a grieving. I don't give a fuck if she's a grieving widow. She gets trash. The Charlie Kirks, the Erica Kirks, whatever, the JD Vances, and all these other people. These are fucking white trash. We give them no fucking respect. And you know what gets me angry? Is you got a lot of black people with large platforms, right? And I respect the fact that what Afro Man did with his thing and Drew Ski did. That's what you do. You attack the enemies of our people. But black people, large platforms, what is Tariq doing? He's going after fucking dusty ass Africans and Caribbeans. You know, he's using his platform to attack other black people. What kind of stupid shit is that? The enemies are the Turning Point USAs, the racists, the MAGA. All these people are the enemy. That's who I focus my attention on. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about fucking like Africans are the worst thing when because Africans are a non-factor to me. These people are gearing up for a race war in this country. It's not just race wars don't start with firing bullets. It starts with propaganda. This propaganda, you and I, or people minding our business every day. There's a lot of black people minding their business, probably unaware of it, which is dangerous. Unaware that there's people online trashing you, making it seem like every black man is a predator. He's ready to rape your daughter and everything. And so that's what's in their hearts when they some of them pull you over for a traffic stop, or someone sees you in a store and you get tackled by store security. You wonder where did this come from? What gets me is when I see black people and they're dumbfounded by when they get attacked by white people. And the worst thing you see these black people, you have it at their head, knock on a friggin' mouth. You ever see these stupid, timid ass black people? that always get racism. They're actually shocked. They're like in shock. When white people roll up on them when they see me, when I'm out in public, I'm ready for them. My look and my facial expression say, I'm ready for you. I know what you think, or I will preempt you and make sure that you don't get out of line. And so when people see my body expression, I'll look you right in the eye. I don't look away. I'll look people right in the damn eye, you know? And like this, my facial expression, my body posture, everything tells me, tells everybody, don't mess with this guy. But I see too many black people, they're just smiling. They're like, I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble when I like Steve, that calls in here, I just don't want no trouble. I was a good nigga. I was a good nigga, all this kind of stupid shit like that. That's dangerous, right? Because once they lose any sort of respect and fear for you, you're putting all of us at risk. Oh yeah, yeah. There's all kinds of people out there, black and white, who are putting this narrative out. So therefore, when people say this, talk this stupid nonsense about that, I got like, give me an example. They're telling Ryan Coogler he has never sold us out, and so therefore they're like, oh man, well, this black man said, I was watching this thing. You know how many movies flopped last year? How many movies flopped this year? So many of these studios are going broke because they cannot find an audience. They got the best actors and they're still flopping. So what does this tell you? How does this young man come out here and get this movie off the ground or not? Because our culture, somebody's going in our barrel. I don't know what's going on with this shit today. Just bear with me. Bear with me. It should be stabilized in a minute. The regular current came back on. So the bottom line is this: they want to tell Ryan Coogler, what about the community? Everybody wants to ride on the black man's fucking back. Ride on their damn black man's back, So I'm saying to myself, no, fuck that, Us black straight men stick together, So the bottom line is we got something good. I believe Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, Invincible team. They're gonna be making films for years, and the films are always bangers because we're gonna support them. They don't have to worry about us coming to the movie theaters. And then you got a sizable number of white people, crossover, they say, that's going to friggin' support their movies, And they got the young white people who don't give a shit, So they know they got a winning formula. And the white racist male does not like this. Like Elon Musk, oh man, we get awesome because the bottom line, their world is going. And what gets me is when you see your enemy is turn the temperature up. Don't retreat. This is what black people tend to do. They see us, we're on a winning streak right now. What black people do is say, oh, we don't want to push too hard because we don't want white people get mad. No. We got to keep pushing this thing, That Afro man thing was just the beginning. What's his called? What's his name? Forgot his name already. Just bringing with the Erica Kirk thing, that's showing you that what I've long said, Black people in America, they see people like Elvis, El Putin, say, why did you don't care about MAGA? I don't care about MAGA. They can have the political power. White people are not the cool. We're the cool, Drewski. We're the cool. So they can have the White House, they can have all that stuff like that. But the bottom line is everything comes to us. We're the cool, and they hate that. That means the fact of the matter is, you look at what that Erica Kirk thing, she's really upset because they have this image of themselves as like this. Pretty soon, these people are going to be hiding from their own shadows, and we keep bearing this up when I'm saying that we can roast you. Black America is good for destroying and roasting people. That's why I'm disappointed with people like Corey Holcomb. I don't know what the hell is thinking. Like, if you're gonna spend your time instead of roasting fucking white people like this, let's join this fucking race war. There's a cyber race war going on, propaganda race war. And all thing you want to talk about is fucking black women. Yeah, black women got the issues, right? But let's talk about who the fucking real enemies are. Get rid of the white man, right? And the black woman will fall right back in line. Because the black women have this idea that, oh yeah, the white man's going to see how Afro Man destroyed that whole police department. They literally destroyed. The guy said, "Man, I just can't work. I can't." That's what we want. Those little rinky-dink sheriff departments want to think they can do whatever they want to do. That's a microcosm of the police departments nationwide. And what happens is this, because this great man, Afro Man, used his platform, right, to freaking come after these people, call them by name, right, degrade them and stuff like that, put them all over the world, whatnot. They're saying, damn, man, I didn't sign up for this. But that's what happens when you fuck up with. We need more of that. That's how we fight this war. Because we have the internet now. That's which we call the internet now is a great equalizer. Before, they could do whatever they want because they had control over the mass media and everything like that. Now with the internet, we can do whatever we want to do. We can lampoon them and destroy them. And I said this years ago, which we call image making, lampooning, and stuff like that works. I forgot. I'm trying to think of the situation. Something happened to me years ago. I used to think highly of somebody, and I forgot what it was. I think I just freaking got on social media, and then I started seeing a lot of people doing sketches about this person, random sketches online, just by amateur stuff or not. And then I started saying to myself, maybe that person ain't what he claims to be. Oh yeah, I know what it was. It was Fat Joe. Before that social network, this is 50, 50 and Fat Joe had a beef back then. This is back in 05, 06, right? I used to think of Fat Joe. Oh man, Joey Crack, rule the Bronx, whatnot. This, that, and the other thing. I was like, that nigga was feared, man. The name Fat Joe just gave me shivers, man. Fat Joe and I. But after 50 started doing a bunch of skits with him on there, when I had this one thing called the elephant in the room, when he had 50 Cent had and it wasn't just Fat Joe, it was Ja Rule, all of them. He just clowned all these people in skits, everything like that. He just freaking destroyed them, right? And I said right then, I knew the power of the internet and stuff like that, the image making, because everything you have is just an illusion. Like Bruce Lee says, destroy the illusion, destroy the image, destroy the illusion, The image of the white man, like he's all powerful. That's what you got to get rid of, And the bottom line is he's not as powerful as people think he is. He has an illusion of power, but he doesn't have any power. You know, he has an illusion of power. Black women is going by an illusion. They automatically think all white men got money, they're all educated. Then when they get with them, they're like, damn, man, ain't what I expected. They have this image of white boys. They got all the monies, middle America. That's all an image, that's all a facade. But anyway, 50 Cent did this thing where he said Fat Joe, one of his guys, he had somebody follow him around. It had a picture of Fat Joe eating KFC, whatever, he gonking down. And the caption was, this is why Fat Joe don't have money, or his food bill. It was hilarious, man. That was like hysterical. And this other thing, right? And Fat Joe was talking, so Fat Joe released an album called The Elephant in the Room, The Elephant in the Room, something like that, right? And 50 Cent released a EP called The Elephant in the Sand, like making fun of him. And he was basically put it free on the new thing, streaming thing. We could download it for free. He put it out there and it drove down. So people would go looking for Fat Joe's album. They was actually downloading 50's album for free. And then on the cover, he had Fat Joe. Somebody had took a picture of Fat Joe at a pool with a freaking ass all hanging out and whatnot, in these shorts or whatnot. And he was like, now it said, no, now I know why they call him Joey Crack. I was like, yo, 50 was a king of fucking petty. And then he did the same thing to Ja Rule, right? Ja Rule. He had Ja look like a friggin' fool, in his skits and everything like that. And 50 had this thing where he knows how to destroy anybody with the videos, little video clips and shit like that, and so what I'm saying is, if we have that background, that dissing and some of that background, this is why this is so important right now, what Afro Man did and Drewski did. Because right now we're doing this, before rappers were doing this with each other, I remember Cameron and Raz Kaz were going at it, right, with skits and stuff like that, videos and whatnot. They're making videos parodying each other, and it was like a battle back and forth. That Raz Kaz versus Dipset, they were going back and forth. See, I thought Dipset was this bad, this thing. Raz Kaz and them clowned the hell out of Dipset. I was like, damn, Dipset, man, y'all gonna take that shit? Because you have this image of somebody, right? There's Dipset, they're this is New York Harlem rappers, they fuck you up, blah, 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 this and things. I met some Dipset people who came out of Virginia, Jim Jones and all these other clowns and whatnot, And so anyway, when Raz Kaz came at them, when I said, man, Raz Kaz, Raz Kaz was more like a conscious rapper, right? Well, he called Dipset bitch set when I was like, and then he kept he did like a parody of the group and whatnot, made them look like fucking fools and whatnot. Nobody saw Dipset the same after that, Nobody saw Cameron. I think Cameron's now straightened himself up. Now he's all suited and tie and whatnot, like he's a conservative or something. They came after Jim Jones, man. They made Jim Jones like a fucking fool, But the bottom line is we have a history of this destroying people because everything is a fucking image, right? Like me, personally, if that's why, unfortunately, I can't get near any of these people. I could destroy Charlie Kirk easily. I could destroy any of these white conservatives, these racists easily, easily. They're nothing. God never gave me the gift to do because I could make some comedy skits, whatever, and stuff like that. Maybe I could use AI, whatever, like that, But these things are so fucking powerful, And unfortunately, you got people like Tariq is doing that, but he's doing it in the wrong way, and he's basically making AI videos of Africa and stuff like that. They work because the bottom line is this: when Tariq showed fucking AI skits of Jollof rice with bushmeat in it and whatnot. That sort of took the whole thing about Jollof rice. Before Jollof rice, I gotta have some Jollof rice. Then when Tariq got a hold of Jollof rice video with his AI stuff, man, you didn't think about Joe Love rights the same way, did you? So what I'm saying is, look, these the internet, using roasting and stuff like that. If white people want to try that shit, man, I'm seeing it right now. We are ready for them. You know, and this is doing is balancing the power out. The power. There's a balance of power out here. And so therefore, I say render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, right? But don't have my whole point I'm trying to make with white people is this: don't have us, don't use us because from busting them right in his fucking mouth. We're not all fucking Americans. I'm my own type of American. You're your own type of American. We're not. It's not. There's no we in this. There's a black America and there's a white America, and both don't like each other. Let's put it to you like that. Black America could easily side with Iran tomorrow. We could easily go with China or Russia. We have no fucking loyalty to these motherfuckers. Now, so I am not interested in trying to create this new country where we all one people now. We're not. Look, the chaos you see, because I'm seeing the actual disintegration. They said America, the Treasury Department said America's insolvent. Good luck trying to get reparations from America, folks. America's insolvent. That means pretty soon, America, the reason why America could print money and everything, $40 trillion in debt, because we've always been able to pay it back. Also, freaking war with Iran, billions of dollars for nothing, and we have no clear path to victory. But I'm glad all this is happening. I am glad all down the tube. We're not, Mr. Heritage America. America's finished. It's a joke. It's a laughing stock and whatnot. Nobody cares about it. Nobody respects it. Whatever. It's time for us to use this opportunity to get our people together and ourselves together. And I like the fact that Black America seems like it's coming together at many different levels. We don't give. You saw that thing with the Mr. Tenderism, right? White man, boy. Y'all black folks took Mr. Tenderism from us, but he was happy. He was happy being your lapdog or some fucking. And we rescued that man. And they said, y'all not gonna say this Mr. Tender is going all over the world now. Got his own thing, got a man what he loves to do. Before he was just a mascot at Destination Barbecue. That's what they love. You being their mascot. You being a dude, this ain't the 1940s. This ain't the 1940s. And we haven't learned anything they should understand. It's like that even with Black America. It's like me having Elvis on, right? And saying, something, Elvis, man, we're going to have a Liberian night. You and me going to have a debate, Liberian night. And all of a sudden, everybody starts saying, man, I want to see Elvis more. I want to see Elvis more. And I'll say, okay, Elvis, I'll pay you something. And we're doing super chats. I'll give you super chats coming on and whatnot. Man, the audience really likes you, right? And then when Elvis gets the idea saying, well, geez, everybody's calling the show because they want to hear me talk about Liberia. What the hell do I need collar for? So Elvis goes and gets his own channel. And I'm acting butthurt. Well, I put him on, blah, blah. Don't work like that. Once he has a chance to shine on his own, he's gone. But that's in any other civilization, any other situation, except for when you deal with the white man and the black man dynamic. You're expected to bootlick and be their slaves and serve them to the day you die. And then the best part about it is when they kick you to the curb and tell you they don't need you no more. After they used you for years, took all your inventions and everything like that. They've been getting away with that for the longest time because we didn't have any choice. We didn't have education. But Mr. Tenderloin showed that we have black lawyers. We have educated black people around. And that's who came in. That's what I love about Black America right now. We got people in our community right now that could get shit done, and they don't like that. They thought we were going to abandon this man and whatnot. We came around him and circled the wagon around this man and showed them, no, you ain't going to take our elder and abuse our elder like that. That's black power. That's black love. That's black community. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if you're talking about something else, I don't know what to tell you. But those are my values. We could build something we could build something and be so we don't have to be like this. We do not have to be like this. But so the thing is, folks, about the topic, the Ghana wins. Let me see. I know for a fact of the matter is the FBA are really mad right now. Let me see if I can. Let me see. What? No, I don't know. It just came on. Now let's look for some good FBA material. Let's see.
The white liberal women.
Let's see. Ghana. Let's see. Ghana. Oh, pop right up. Ghana reparations. Wow, man,
Gathering in the name of remembrance and reparations to back a draft resolution recognizing the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity.
There's no such thing as a slave. There were human beings who were trafficked and then enslaved by people who believed they could own those human beings as chattels.
The consequences of which he says still persist today and accused the US of normalizing the erasure of history.
Schools are being mandated to stop teaching students about.
Now, what gets me is why would any sane black person be against that? Why would they say right now you have a situation where you have a government of America in textbooks and everything are really trying to erase slavery and whatnot because it's too painful. This is what we're talking about. Why would anybody be against that? Let's continue.
The truth of slavery, segregation, and racism in American history courses.
There are some fake news articles suggesting that the sponsors of this resolution called into question President Trump's support of the Black community. We reject any such suggestions.
The result of the vote is as follows. In favor, 123, against 3, abstentions 52.
Argentina, Israel and the US voting against the resolution, the United Kingdom and members of the EU among those abstaining.
The UK is firmly of the view that we must not create a hierarchy of historical atrocities.
The Netherlands, the only European country to have issued a formal apology for its role in slavery, abstaining from the vote for similar reasons. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres welcomed the resolution.
But far bolder actions and many more states are needed.
At least 12.5 million Africans were taken and sold between the 15th and 19th centuries.
The colonial powers, Portugal, Britain, France, Germany, they have not been sincere to Africa. Nothing, no support.
The landmark resolution now expected to add weight to demands for reparations.
So today in the financial district, like at the African American burial ground of, enslaved Black Americans, I told you guys that the Ghanaian president was going to go and do a ritualistic ceremony by laying a wreath at the burial ground, and how he was also going to go to the AU, the African Union, and the United Nations to speak on behalf of Black Americans, in the diaspora, but he literally chose specifically to the United States of America to demand restorative justice and reparations on behalf of enslaved Africans. And I just think that it is so disrespectful to our ancestors because we're not continental Africans. And if you heard, shouts out to Lacey, if you heard some of the things that she was saying in the beginning, she was talking about all of the atrocities that is literally going on in the country of Ghana right now. And she also was talking about how.
Now, look, bottom line is this, these people really, look, Ghana has to be careful. That girl Lacey, that's fat, she's like 400 pounds, right? Some light-skinned 400-pound chick that's in Ghana, that was in Ghana. Now she's in Burkina Faso. She was in Ghana. She got played. She was a passport granny. She got played by some Ghanaian. Now she's bitter and angry. So all she does is post bad stuff about Ghana and stuff like that, all the time online. That's what she's talking about, Lacey. These people are sick. These people are sick. Look, the bottom line is this. I'm here in Liberia right now. There's Black Americans here in Liberia. There's Sierra Leone. We're all over, and the numbers are increasing, So you guys, or if you guys thought that it was going to be something, and we're communicating, I'm communicating from you live from Monrovia, Painesville, Monrovia, Liberia. And this is a Collar Nation radio show, So the bottom line, do you think that we're going to stop coming here? You think you're going to break the bonds that we have with the mother continent? You are sadly mistaken. If that's what y'all are trying to do, y'all think this is going to go away? You are sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken. So let's continue with this bimbo.
People have lost their lives trying to go back to the motherland to build and to build and have community and camaraderie, and how some of them have literally been slaughtered, raped, had their resources stolen, have been in bad and shady business deals with some of the people over there in Ghana. Not all clearly, but she listed off a slew of names. She had a list, and her page is dedicated to that. I've had her on my panel before. I'm going to @ her, but you've seen her website that it was like on the screen. Of course, the mayor of New York City, Mayor Mamdani, he was also there giving his well wishes and lending his voice. And I don't know, it just seems like it's all about a money grab, because then
why would it be about a money grab? There's nothing they said about money. Could it be that people are just trying to set a precedence? If it was about a money grab, they wouldn't have to go to the UN and say, this is what, at least the world's on record condemning the transatlantic slave trade. Before the world ignored the transatlantic slave trade, something that happened, but it was never formally addressed. The world did address colonialism. It did address dictatorships, drug trafficking, narco trafficking, and stuff like that. This is the first time the world has condemned the transatlantic slave trade. Before, it ignored that because out of fear of the United States. But that fear of the United States or freaking look, Africa and Ghana, it's not about freaking money. They only talk about Ghana's only talking about $100 million, you know? If Ghana gets money and stuff like that, and they can take the money and use it for good, when I'm all for it, you know? The problem is you got too many black people in America who think there's going to be this big payday coming along or whatnot, and that's not the case. Reparations is about repair. Like when the Jews happened in the Holocaust in Germany, the Jews didn't get a check. The state of Israel got a check. Now, maybe Ghana could use the money to build a new city-state for Black Americans to return to in Ghana. Who knows what it could be, you know? They could use that money to settle Black people in America who want to leave America, you know? They could probably use that money to build, to upgrade Black communities here in America. But the thing is, it's going to be facilitated by a nation state. Black people in America did not want to listen when I said, you need an Afghanistan to negotiate for you on a global stage, anything. You guys said, no, FBA all day and whatnot. And look at your powerless ass. It takes the Ghanaian government, a state, to get it gone, you know? Yeah, look, the bottom line is this. I'm not looking for a check, you know? I'm not looking for a check, you know? And if you guys think that you're going to get a check, who's going to pay it to you? America doesn't have no money. America's broke. You know, I don't know where this money's supposed to come from, you know? And like I said, I've always said this, and I'm not trying to be funny or anything like that. I do believe the people who believe there's going to be a check coming, these people who grew up may spend 30 years getting checks from the government. So they really do think it's a possibility they're going to get one big payout. But people like me who've never gotten any money from the government, my parents, and my father did not work, we did not eat. So I never remember getting anything like that. Yeah, Israel was a country when they got the reparations. It was paid to the state of Israel. Israel was a collective place where the Jews said, we speak for the entire Jewish race. And Israel was the beneficiary of reparations from Germany. They used that money to build its infrastructure, the state of Israel. And the consolation was a lot of German companies got some of the money back because they agreed to pay the money, but a lot of the road work and infrastructure that they was going to use it for, German companies benefited. So it was a win-win situation. The Jews got their reparations, Jews got their development, Germany got some of the money back with the contracts, you know? So it is what it is. But the Black American ain't got no land. You ain't got nothing to repair. Ain't got no government, no nothing, no space, no nothing. Well, we want reparations, you know? I could even see if you even had like Black people still held on to places like Harlem. You know, you couldn't even hold on to Harlem. You know, Harlem. In the words of Pastor Manning, you couldn't even hold on to Harlem. All the Black cities that are dead now, Gary, Indiana, we have no places like that. Carl K. Slayer did not just come from, yeah, I know that. I know that. But Ghana's talking about for all the people like this. Maybe Angola could do the same thing. Say, hey, look, you know, like petition. And in the coming years, when they start negotiating or not, they're going to say, I would say my whole thing is now is a good time for Africa to impose a slavery tax, you know, a slavery tax, you know, or anybody that was the position in it, you know, participated in the transatlantic slave trade. You know, that's how I would play it if I was Ghana, you know, and all these other African countries. We're going to implement a 10% slave tax, whatnot, you know, slave tax. And then that money should be readily available for people like myself who want to build an Afghanistan, you know. Now we'll have the money to build Africa. Imagine that 10% of the oil, revenue from the oil, gold, everything that's extracted from the continent, whatever, goes to this particular fund. It could be 5%, you know, 5%. You're talking billions of dollars. But you need balls to do something like this. And there could be the reparations right there. But you got people like Bantu Mandinka and Ben Yusuf, cut the check, cut the check, cut the check. Look, man, look, the bottom line is this. Y'all got to get out of that, man. You know? Only nation states are going to receive reparations. Only governments are going to receive reparations. Now, if you want your reparations, you think you can benefit from that, I would suggest you get your passport and go to Ghana and make your way around Ghana and say, hey, look, you know, if some of that money comes, I want some of it, you know. You could probably do that, you know. You know, so it is what it is. Maybe the black people living in Ghana could get something like I say, you got so many black people trying to build communities in Ghana, and Ghanaian government always say they don't have the money to build roads and infrastructure. Maybe some money could go to help build places like Sable and the community mines building, you know. So it is what it is. But we're gonna have a good show tonight, folks. I'm opening up the chat, you know, the chat, excuse me, the live and whatnot, you know. You can call in, step right up, step right up. I really want to hear from the FBA. Why are FBA so mad? It's a glorious day, you know. Why are the FBA so mad? I feel like we haven't addressed our own part in the trade. What part did you have, you know? You know, I African guys, Africa suffered in the slave trade. You know, they got nothing out of it. You know, Africans were victims of the transatlantic slave trade too. Ain't no part you played in that, you know. And so the bottom line is this, you know, bottom line, the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade was something that was imposed upon the whole entire race of Africa, you know. You know, so it is what it is. And we have our good friend Bantu Mandinka. What's up, man?
What's up? What's up, man?
Oh, come on, Bantu Mandinka. I heard you out there with the bullhorn out there. FBA all day, FBA all day. I said, there's some Bantu Mandinka out there, man, with the bullhorn. You know, come on, man.
FBA all day for the win. I don't know what the hell you been smoking, color. Got ain't one shit. What are you talking about, man?
But y'all just took a major loss. Ghana did the right thing, man. Ghana did the right thing. They got all these countries to agree. 123 countries.
Man, them 123 countries ain't about to do shit. What they gonna do?
Yeah, but hold on.
Tell me.
What I'm saying
Tell
is,
me what they gonna do. USA got vetoed UN. USA vetoed that shit. What they gonna do? Tell me.
Hold on. No, they passed a resolution. It's not in the Security Council. America got vetoed in the Security Council. That has nothing to do with that.
Okay. So what's gonna happen, Carla?
My whole thing is this. Ghana is, you put it like this, like Frenchie said, Ghana won, FBA 0, man. You
Ghana, hey Frenchie, you misinformed if you listening to this fucking dummy.
You
know what's up. I don't know why he wants to abuse or something.
So the bottom line is Ghana is up one, man. They really look, John Muhammad.
Ghana, Kala over here clowning y'all right now, man. Y'all don't even know. Y'all better step right up.
No, I'm saying, look, I am really proud of Ghana right now, you know. I'm really proud of Ghana right now. They stepped up, man.
They stepped up to do what?
Check us out. Look, Had you FBAs had an
See,
African stand, right? You could
you
be the
one
ones
of
down there
you
talking,
one of these African sympathizers, man.
I ain't
How
no
the fuck
African sympathizer, man,
you
you
one of
know.
these African sympathizers?
This
Well,
man has a
let's,
How the fuck Ghana gonna
hold
step up when they one of the major
on,
slave traders on the coast? What?
no, that's a lie. That all
How's that a
lies.
lie? How's that a lie?
Black Americans, those who have survived the
Who was
transatlantic
that?
slave trade, or at least were descendants of those who were
Oh, let me
captured
see what this
enslaved,
girl got
the
said.
UN today voted to give us reparations for that. And so they asked every single country to vote. Every single country to vote.
Wow, she said she's excited, you know. She said
Yeah.
you and ask reparations.
Get
So
excited,
what's wrong
girl,
with the UN
for
asking
nothing.
reparation? Why are you guys so mad?
Who's mad?
You guys are mad that the Ghana went and got y'all reparations, you know?
What did they
They
get?
What?
Tell everybody what they got, Colin.
No, but
That's
hold on.
what,
If
tell the people. Tell the people what Ghana got.
At least they got a resolution. You
Oh, they
FBA
got a
didn't get
resolution. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but look, you
We
got you
got you.
FBA never got theirs.
Ghana
You
won,
guys
huh?
never
They
got
got a
that.
resolution.
Yeah, you guys never got that, man.
Bunch
You
of lying
FBAs
ass
never got
motherfuckers. Hey, listen,
that.
we got a whole lot of things. We got all kind of shit.
Oh man,
What do
yeah,
they
yeah. You
got?
guys,
What
look,
do
man.
they got?
You FBAs
What
are
do they
looking real
got?
bad, man. FBAs ain't
Lying ass
all you,
nigga fucking
all,
slave trader trying to come
all
back and get some money.
all you got, Bantu, all you got is a flag you got and saying
Hey, that's
FBA
all
all
right.
day.
That's
Got the
still
check,
more
got
than
the
what
check.
the fuck they
Yeah,
got.
got the check. But this guy went over there and got 123 countries to agree with him. You guys did nothing, man. You know, I'm disappointed, y'all.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm
That's
disappointed in
sweet.
FBA.
That's
Well,
sweet.
okay, let me get Kidola on.
Go
Kidola, man.
ahead.
Kidola, you got 2 minutes, man. You long with it. Hold on, let me time you. You got 2 minutes. Let's say, let me give you 1 second. Stop.
Carla,
All right, 2
I
minutes.
want to put it like this, Carla. When you see what play out, now Africans are now beginning to realize that Africa in Africa, not Africa in United States, because Africa and United States never really want to talk about the hatred some bad Black Americans have for them. Every kind of like what happened in America, still in America. But this they now begin to see that majority of Black Americans are not really friendly to Africans in their living room and in their kitchen. So what you start seeing now, I saw a Kenyan lady said, "Oh, now we now see they don't really like Africans like that."
That lady does not speak for Black America. Come on, Kidola.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whoever speak or doesn't speak doesn't matter. Question will now be asked now to the diaspora that live in the United States, women, their own citizens. Who are these people? How did they really treat people there? Oh yeah, no, some of them they're nasty. Oh, okay. So Africans can be very quiet or passive. Then you start coming around them, they will be looking at you like, oh, okay, how you doing? They will not be friendly, but they will not show it. They will take it like, okay, until you fuck up in their country. You understand? I know Africans people. I know their mind. I understand. What Ghana did, the so-called FBA was not able to do it. These are grifters asking for money, internet to eat. They can't do it. What Ghana did, Ghana put a name in something. Not like I'm in support what Ghana did, but Ghana have the power to put a name because why? Because you have resources to back it up. This so-called FBA all day, you are just you're making noise. You know, you're making noise.
I'm telling you right now, this is
You
gonna be the
can't gather.
undoing of Ghana.
You
Like
can't gather. You can't gather no
you.
shit. So we're trying to say, Kala, is this? It's not only Black America that took from Africa. Africa should there are blacks in Guatemala that really needs if Africa want to help African Union, those blacks are still living in the jungle of Guatemala. They see it the African food, the cassava. There are blacks in Colombia who realize they are Africans. Why Africans are focused on Black Americans? For what? For what benefit? What
Yeah,
can they
for
really do?
what? For what?
You know, let the Black Americans go.
Let's see what those
They,
100 and some countries gonna do.
but yeah,
We'll
hold on,
be
hold on.
back
But
here again,
yeah,
Colin.
but they can let you people go, but you are not Africans anymore. But they can respect their
Who
Africans.
gives a fuck about being an
It doesn't
African
matter.
anymore?
It doesn't matter. It
Africa
doesn't
is
really
just some
matter who.
made up shit anyway. Who cares?
It doesn't matter. You are not people to gather with or to sit with. That's just the truth. There are blacks. There are
Who
Africans in
cares?
Ecuador.
Don't nobody
Why
need
you
to sit
focus
with
on the
your
ones?
ass. Sure.
Why
For
you
what?
sit on the one in United
All right,
States
man.
sometimes?
All right, Beto. All right.
He keeps saying
Get over
it. So
time.
what you want
Let
me
me
to
get
say?
that.
Just sit here?
Let me get Dex on. Go ahead, bro.
Yo, what's up? Peace, Kyle.
What's going on?
Man, I just got a question for the FBA, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
my question to you, bro, is what are you doing to empower the FBA community right now? Like, what are you doing for the community?
What am I
You say
doing for the
FBA all day.
community? Yeah,
FBA all
that's what I
day.
do. I say FBA all day. That's what I do.
I'm talking about action. I'm not talking about just words.
I live my
There is
life.
no
That's what
action.
the fuck I do.
So you saying living your life is doing enough to,
Yes, I'm a shining example of perfection and success. Yes.
but don't FBA have bigger problems than you just talking on the internet, saying that you just living your life? Don't you got like bigger problems to solve instead of just attacking African people?
I'm not attacking nobody.
Yes, you is. I just sat up here and listened to you attack this man.
Did I attack you?
Yeah, bro, you just told him don't nobody give a fuck about being an African anymore.
He just said you ain't an African no more. What? Who cares?
But I'm asking you personally, what are you doing for your own community to empower yourself? You said living your life. That's not enough.
Yeah. That's not
That's not
enough
enough.
for who? For you?
No, for everybody that's
Do I
called,
owe you something?
dude. You're not
What
listening
do
to
I owe you?
dude. You're not even
Do I
listening.
owe you something?
All right, bro. I'm not gonna argue with somebody that just talking to a brick
I'm
wall.
not arguing. You said I owe you something. I'm
I
saying,
All
never
right,
what is it?
let's get back. Let's get back to the point. The point
hold on.
is, like Bantu, is the fact that I said Ghana. What Ghana did was a win, right?
A win for
FBA
who?
said, hold on, it went for reparations. You know, the
Okay.
reparations, right? They moved the needle. FBA,
Man, they
yeah,
doing
you
nothing but
had in
playing a
Cobra.
political game, bro. Ain't move.
Hold on. What was in Cobra doing? They had what's it what 6055 something like that,
All right, you could
96
say
whatever that
that about in Cobra,
in
but
the
yeah.
Congress for since 1964 talking about reparations whatever, and Cobra giving themselves awards everything everybody. Cobra's like 100 years old when yeah, you gotta respect that. I came up when a bunch of spokesmouths for reparations, and they give each other the awards for who's the biggest spokesmouth, and nobody ain't got no fucking money. They never advanced it to the UN or nothing like that. They could never do it. All they got was a bill. So what I'm saying is this
Tyler,
right
I
here, it
was
took a
about to
government, a
Let him
nation state.
finish. Hold on. Go.
It took a government, a nation state like Ghana, to say, I'm gonna put my political capital, geopolitical capital on the line, right? Because they knew this was a real dig at the United States, and Britain, two powers that really, benefited
The
most from.
European nations didn't even vote on that shit. They didn't even respect
Well,
enough to vote. The
Abstain
fuck
means
out of here, man.
the Netherlands. The Netherlands, they voted for the state. The Netherlands apologized for it, and they didn't even while they abstained from it. They
Yeah,
didn't vote
good for
against it.
them.
So what I'm trying to make is this, right? Now, this opens the thing up to be like saying, okay, since we know that was a crime against humanity, how do we solve that? Then African countries could be justified in taking European property on the continent. Whole bunch of stuff could be justified now, you know. But the thing is, though,
All
tell
right,
me,
Colin.
hold up, tell me what the FBA are going to seize or take,
Sure.
whatever like that, you know.
What the fuck they gonna seize and take?
Hey, Carla, that's what I was just about to ask you. He just
The
talking on the
FBA got
internet.
nothing, man.
These people
FBA is a
show
fucking.
no action.
You
These people
talking
show no
on the
action.
Well, the
internet? What
FBA
you
does. The
doing for your
FBA,
community?
These
What are you
people
doing
show
for
no
your
action.
community?
you know.
These
Why
people
you
show no
asking
action.
me? What you doing for
All right,
your
let me
community?
hold up. Let me get
I
the
can
next
get back to
person
my
on.
community.
It's King Good Justice. What's going on, King?
What's up, King?
Please, you can hear me?
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Tyler, because I know you saying that Ghana, they gon' I guess, jump start something. So I'm asking, how do the African nations force the European nations and
I
America
was
to
just
give up
talking
reparation
shit, man.
without any power to sanction or any
No,
military might?
hold on. What that does is this: the transatlantic slave trade existed, right? It ended
Right.
officially in like the 1850s, right?
Hmm.
But the whole thing, it went on for like 300 years, degradation, wars, everything, human bondage. It completely altered a whole culture, everything about race in the world, and affected the people who most affected were the people who were taken off the continent, right? Particularly African Americans and Caribbeans and people from Central America, stuff like that. So it altered the whole map. And a lot of problems, like he said, are still affected to us to this day. A lot of problems with the transatlantic slave trade. There's no, the Black America, right? Listen to this carefully. They gave us freedom, right? But they never said, what would that freedom look like? Do we want to live under the white man's government? Since America, that time period, guess how many countries were created and formed, now thriving around the world? So you're telling me one group of people, Black America, right, shouldn't have had that opportunity for self-determination like everybody else? Look at Haiti. Haiti is still
Nah,
suffering
Kyla,
under.
I'm with you on that. They don't really answer the question, but to speak about what you talking about, that problem is on us. Most Black Americans are the ones that reject being a nation of our own.
You know, they only no. They, hold on, let me say this.
Hold on. I disagree with that. I disagree with what he just
I
said.
disagree. You know why?
We vote
Because
for
the-
Democrats at 87%, bro. We not out here gung ho about trying to start a
It's like yo, you have to understand. You have to understand, right? There's no path to nationhood, you know. So of course, Black people like they don't look stupid. They're gonna say, "I don't want a nation with that," because they're like this because they think us nationalists are crazy, right? But I'm telling you now, if there's an option, like the Jews, do you know when the state of Israel was formed, right? When it was forming, 90% of Jews were comfortable in Germany, in England, and the Netherlands, and every place like that. They didn't want the state of Israel. But when it became a reality, then they said, okay, I see this is working. The problem is there's never been a reality for Black America. America's been, the white man's made sure that his culture, this land is our only reality. So the only reality we have to do is try to fit in what we fit in. That's why the FBA, they think they're threatened by the immigrants thinking they're going to take their place, you know?
Nah, Kyla, look.
No.
When we was enslaved and they built Liberia, the free Blacks that stayed in America, they rejected it. In the 60s, look. In the 60s, everybody that was free in America didn't go back to Liberia en masse.
All right, let me give me. Hold on. Look, let me answer him what he said because I want to educate my good brother, right? First of all, like I said, I wrote my book, Journey to the Promised Land, like Frenchie put it right here.
I got it. I bought it.
Oh, yeah, you bought it, right? Now, look at one thing that you would notice, right? Do you know what the cost is for friggin' going across the Atlantic? And to show you what I'm talking about, right? Black people realized the most costly and most dangerous thing was crossing the Atlantic and going to Africa, right? So you know what a lot of Black people did? They went to Mexico, built little Liberias over there. They went to places like Oklahoma. They went to places like Kansas. They went all this idea of building our own civilization, Mount Bayou, Mississippi. It had nothing to do with any love for America. We went to Canada too. We went to Costa Rica. Some of us went to Dominican Republic, Samana. This idea that we're going to stay in is a lie. Those Black Americans that end up in the 1920s, the 10s and 20s in Russia, and Leninist Russia. We went to Paris. We went to Germany. We went to South Africa.
Kyla, I'm with you. I'm a Black nationalist 100%, but when I study all people, I just see that we are a minority, my brother.
I know. What I'm saying is this. The majority of Black people cannot move, even to this day. There's no path to basically saying you can uproot and go to another continent. It's almost impossible. So that's why we're sort of stuck in America. It ain't because since we're stuck in America and most Black people know it's a reality, they make the best of it. We try to make the best of it by building our communities, whatever like that. We understand that, right? Now I'm saying
that's a lot, man. Most Black people
if we have
any fucking country they want to.
The next phase could be discussions on how many Black people would like to have a state or settlement of their own on their African ancestry. And should Europeans help facilitate this? The billions of dollars it take to do that. Because that's all.
And once you say that, what's the first thing they're gonna say? Because they say it to me all the time. They're gonna bring up Liberia when you say
King,
you want a nation.
The Liberia 2.0.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna say.
Liberia 2.0.
Good King. Hold on. Bantu, man, please don't let me drop you down. Right?
You can drop.
When people talk about Liberia, hold on. I'm not gonna say this again. When people talk about Liberia, they simply haven't studied the history. I did an interview with my guy, Val Thomas. He's the head of International Focus magazine. He's an African-American brother. He's from Houston. He's been in Liberia for 20 years, right? And him and I have studied this country, right? We studied the country. Most of the misinformation about Liberia comes from white supremacists and racists and whatnot. And we studied the history of the country, the Native and Congo people, American Liberians, and it was nothing like it. I'm in Liberia right now. I'm here right now. That's nonsense like Liberia 2.0. Those are people who've never been to Liberia, don't know the history, the culture, and everything like that goes along here.
No, I'm saying because you said you brought up having Europeans help you with the project. That's why they gonna say it's Liberia 2.0.
Let's come back to common sense.
No. What I'm saying is this: if Europe was responsible for it, or unless you basically have one country in Africa that can facilitate that, whatever like that. But I don't see if Europeans are basically you're asking Europeans for reparations, right? Isn't that the truth? If you ask them
I don't know any real Black nationalists that think reparations coming. I don't think it's ever coming.
I don't, right? But the FBA people do,
Yeah, but they not nationalists though. They tethered to America. They don't want a nation.
Yeah, so my whole point is this: if you gave me 25,000 square miles of soil anywhere in this earth, that would be my reparations. I could build from there. I can make it happen. But we don't have the Black man, slave descent in America.
It's not. Hold on, reparations shouldn't just be for you personally, though. It got to be for future generations too. It can't just be you.
That's what I said. That's why. And look, that's why I say in Afghanistan, right? Someplace that we could invest money into, put money into, and invest like the Jews.
See how easily Kyla was bought off? Just give me some land. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's all you need. Really, hold on. Without land, you can't. Hold on. Benton Mandika. The reason why you weren't down there instead of Ghana because you have no land. So keep being landless, man.
Kyla, though, I disagree though because it's not that simple. It's not that simple of just give me some land and that's it. No, that's not.
No, we could establish a nation state.
No.
King Good. Explain to him how we talk.
I think we need our own sovereignty. That's more important than having some.
That's the same thing as having a nation, brother.
Yeah,
that is having a nation state.
I agree with you, but I'm saying it's not just all that simple.
Sovereignty means control over space. You have no control over space. Nowhere on this earth that you can put your flag
sovereignty
down.
Does not mean
I control the universe. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah,
we don't control no universe.
I control it. Y'all ain't
got no power on this earth.
Y'all want to discharge your power to somebody else.
That's not the definition of sovereignty.
That is it. Okay, let's look at the definition.
Let's look up the
right?
definition.
Sovereignty is your independence, bro. That's your nation's independence. That's what your sovereignty is.
So land go hand in hand with it. But I'm saying,
yes,
that's not the only. That's not the
about. We're talking about land is sovereignty. What are you talking about?
But land. Hold on, but land is not just the end.
All right. Hold on. Dex, let me read it to you. Let me read it to you from Webster's dictionary. Sovereignty is the supreme independent authority of a state to govern itself, manage its internal affairs, control its territory without foreign interference.
Right.
All right.
Like Palestine is fighting for their sovereignty. That's what they whole battle is about.
Yet, you know.
That's what I said. They're fighting for it.
Hold up, yo, King Good. Tell me about the Kurds. Do they have sovereignty? No.
They don't got
they
no.
Have area that they call
Palestine way farther along than them.
You know?
That's why you see.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
That's why you see FBAs get shot by the police and all this and all that. Like, bro, y'all need more than just being an American. There's no benefits for a black person to be in America, bro. It's no benefits.
So what you gonna benefit of being in Ghana?
I want 25,000 square miles on the African.
No, I'm not saying it's gonna be benefits to be in Ghana. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we need, like the brother just said right here. We need our
and also I talked about to my partner Val Thomas. I said, look, anything we do in Liberia and Africa, we have to do a chart. We have to be one that's chartered there. He said, well, explain to me what you mean by that, brother Kala. I said, let me tell you something. Just like what happened with Essence Magazine and stuff like that, anything we do, like me said, like Ghana's fine, what they're doing fine, right? But for me to get involved, right, it's going to be African-American men like myself, right? Not a damn fucking fifth generation Ghanaian here, not a Liberian here, not anybody else here. It's me African-American men sitting down in conference, right? And we're going to issue and control the charter. You know why it means what it means a charter? That means you set the course. You control the direction. Richard Laudette has taken over the charter of Essence Magazine. Look what happened. It went off course, didn't it? Only African Americans could steer African Americans from here. Like now, he got the ball rolling, right, with the thing. I agree with that, but that's not good. That's not our end game. Now, the FBA could be like, you know something, he started out, but let's take it over now because we're going to, charter the reparations movement. But they're not doing that. They're basically saying that he should have came and spoke on their behalf to begin with. And you definitely needed him, that assistance of a nation state, So,
Kala, all right, let's speak reality. Let's say we do get a nation in Africa to say, yeah, y'all could build y'all nation here. We get the 25,000 square miles that you're talking about. How do we get our masses to Africa without having an airport or any airplanes?
Let me say this, okay, listen, right? And you're a smart brother, listening for years, right? You always have to have a pioneering force. The first generations of pioneers. You don't get the masses. The masses ain't gonna come until you're at a certain stage. The first phase is always pioneers.
Even 2,000 of us, 2,000 to 10,000, how do you get us over there without having our own airplanes and our own airport?
Hold on,
first of all, hold on. I already talked about.
You simply pay.
Good king.
Let me explain this, please. All right, Bantu, you're out of here. You're out. Bye, Bantu. Good night. Yo, check us out. Now, you start with the fact that you take the people who are already on the continent. There's a lot of Black Americans already on the continent, right? They're going to country, all the problems that they're having in Tanzania, Kenya, Ghana, all these things right here. The African will solve their problems, right? A lot of it, they can't own land outright. They got a lease, stuff like that. They get ripped off by the locals. They have no representation in government. That African will solve the problem. You start with the people that's living on the continent already and living in places like China and overseas. You start with those people, And then once you have a forming society and everything like that's growing, and then the sites are up and running, and then you got international partners and support, investors and everything coming in, and you're floating your own currency, your own municipal bonds and stuff like that, And next thing you know, people start saying, "Wow, man, I see roads, I see buildings, I say this and whatnot." And then you put a pathway how the people are good. And I always have these ways of doing this. As long as people can come there and they can sustain themselves, right? That means you got to have some residual income to start with. You cannot have the people that, if you know, like Marcus Garvey said, if you're no good here, you're no good over there. But if you got somebody that got a 401k, a Roth IRA, retirement, stuff like that, and he's saying, you know something, and also I believe in modernity, but modesty, Instead of everybody saying we're going to build big mansion, why don't we span vertically like the Asians do and build mostly high-rise apartments? Everybody have a modern apartment instead of like this. If you want a house, then you go to America. But 80% of people should live in apartments. That's less real.
Hold on. Are you telling me that we got all the land that we need and we can't have a simple house?
But you could use you could expand. I said the pioneering force, pioneer age. Then after a while, when people start gaining wealth, the country starts getting wealthy, and you start getting wealth and everything like that, then you could say, okay, we're building these middle-class houses and stuff like that. But the first phase of the country, everybody is working. Don't work on your lifestyle first. You got to sacrifice. Everybody that I've known, countries I've studied, they always give 20 years of sacrifice, 20 years of living on the bare minimum, right?
Hey, Colin,
and they sacrifice. And what that does is builds the character in the people, the togetherness and everything. And then once you reach the plateau, then you could say, hey, look, we have prosperity, but we went through this one night. But black people, the problem is, black people want a fucking Rolls Royce and a mansion on day one. They think they're gonna be driving down with a Rolls Royce. Or no, you might have to have a rail line. We might have to have public transportation. But at least we'll know that we're free. We're on our land.
Could I just say this? Could I say this?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be so honest. What you just said is kind of impossible, bro. I'm gonna just keep it on it. Look how many people are indoctrinated with what they're indoctrinated with. For instance, the FBA community. Like it's no way that we can get everybody.
Hold on. I don't want those FBA people around me, at all.
But why? But why not? They're a part of our.
No. It don't work like that. It does not work like that. I've always said the FBA people could do what they want to do. Is this what you want to do?
No, but when you have influence, when you have the influence to make them.
The bottom line, look. I do a show.
Hear me out real quick. I'm gonna let you speak.
The FBA people have made it clear to me that they don't hold up. They don't even like the fact that I come to Liberia to visit. What they think. Hey, look, had my brother Christopher Brazen.
Okay, I get that.
My guy in Tanzania. He's an African American brother. He's in Tanzania, right? He's somebody that I could bring to an Afghanistan because he lives on the continent.
Colin, I get that.
Those are the people I want. I do not want these people. If you don't like Africa, you go your other way. That's fine. That's not me.
Colin, but listen, that's only because they understand that America has its influence on them. So, like, for instance, they got all the benefits that they want over here. But when you start building the things that you said you want to build over there,
you could build the same thing. You could hold on. If you could build, look, the bottom line, you know what the problem is. These people have benefits, right? They don't even know how. The same way that you got benefits in America, you could do the same thing in your own country. All you need is your own tax base. Once you have your own tax base, you can have the same thing as America has.
Kala, but I'm trying to get to the point real quick. I'm gonna be brief.
What you're dealing with, you're talking about illiterates, people who are illiterates.
No, I know. I'm gonna be brief though. I'm not gonna be on all day. I'm just want to just say this. But basically, when you have the same amount of influence as America, then you would start seeing these FBA people jump on shit. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying. If the FBA had some sort of education, if you have a government, right? You establish a government, right? the first thing you do is you have your tax laws, right? That means everything that comes in the country, everything that utilizes the country, that's how your generation, you pay for all the services that you vote on and everything like that, the facilities for services and stuff like that. And you grow the economy with your sovereign wealth by investing in other countries, their gold, their assets and everything. And you build the country's asset portfolio around the world. That's what you do. But the bottom line is just it's just so plain and simple because I've studied this for years. The problem is most black people never freaking pick up a goddamn book and learn how the damn world works.
But America doesn't get its wealth from taxes. That's not true.
Yeah, America spends its money on the tax of good businesses.
No, the taxes are recuperation of debt. That's all it is.
No. Yeah, that does not matter. Initially, America has the tax base is what keeps the thing going. Without tax base, look, this is how it works. When you float a bond out there, right? You borrow money, you want to build all stuff like this. You pay the bond back with the tax revenue, your toll collecting fees, all the stuff like that. We know this is what you're saying. You're telling me elementary stuff. You float a municipal bond and whatnot, a treasury bond, right? People buy the treasury bond, right? How you pay that bond back is your tax base. That's all you do. It's so freaking elementary.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you. You paying off a debt though. That's a debt.
So what? It does not matter. That's the way it works. Black people act like you want something for free. You don't want to be a fucking man and say, yes, if we have to pay a debt, whatever, we will discipline ourselves to pay it up.
We're gonna be a freaking nation. Debtors, though. We shouldn't go into.
That's a bunch of nonsense. Every country incurs debt. Every country incurs debt. No. You're talking nonsense. There's 99% of the countries in the world initially incur debt, and they pay it back through their natural resources or some other way and whatnot. That's how the world works.
Hold on. Most countries don't pay a debt. A lot of them don't.
Most countries do pay a debt. Most countries do pay a debt. You know what I'm saying? Most countries have a sovereign wealth. Most countries have a treasury bond. You buy treasury bills and whatnot, and then all of a sudden you let me give you an example. South Africa had the best treasury bill bonds back in the 70s, right? It was backed by with the rand. You bought rand, right? And with that thing, that treasury bill, people bought, like pension funds or companies in America bought those treasury bills, right? The rand. And then South Africa was able to build the most modern infrastructure on the African continent. And how did they pay for the back? Basically, the money that it generated, the wealth they created from the gold and the diamonds and everything like that, the taxes they collected from that, the revenue they collected from that, real estate and stuff like that, real estate taxes, everything like that, import taxes and stuff like that, paid those things back, They'll say, Chris May say, bottom line, black men are particularly afraid to build ultimate reality of achievement in America or permission. Yeah. Black men are not in control. Yeah, the bottom line is like we got black men always got excuses. We can't do this.
The problem with the debt, the problem with the debt issue is that you're paying off a different country. You're not.
No, it does not. Look. This is the way business works, bro.
This is why
you can have a country. You'll have 20. The way the world financial system works is there's you'll have a stock exchange, stock market, commodities market. There'll be traders from all over the globe in your thing. When you float a treasury bill, people hold your debt from across the globe. Now, unless you're talking about let's be a third world nation and get money from the World Bank and the IMF, that's another option, but I don't want to go that route, so that's what it is. So I don't know what to tell you. So the bottom line is ADOS FBA people are just scary ass niggas and whatnot, The bottom line is a black man in the heart.
I agree.
He's sitting there saying, oh, we don't want God. The bottom line is
Carla, but the debt is used as a tool. It's not. It's just a tool for.
No. Look. Hold on. You guys got to stop with that scary ass shit, man.
That's not. Really. That's actual fact.
That's scary ass shit, man. You sound scary. Oh, the debt will be, they're going to come and do this, man.
No, it's
Stop
used
with that
as
shit,
a
man.
no, it is. It's used as a tool. That's all it's used
Tool for what? Tool for what? What are you going to do?
Economic growth. That's what you do when you
hold on. The bottom line is this: the economic growth will be as more and more educated, skilled people come. That's where the growth will come from. You got more consumer market.
Hold on.
You build your consumer base. Hold on, you have your consumer base.
I'm finna Google. Do most countries pay debts? You know, let's see what pops up. Yes,
Yeah,
most countries pay their debt.
But most best thing you can do is I would suggest you get yourself a library card. Go study in the library and whatnot, then get back to me. You know, Google's not going to tell you much.
I'm reading the facts. I'm reading the facts though. I'm not just Googling it because I'm just Googling.
Most countries in the world incur debt unless they're with the IMF and the World
Yeah, but
Bank,
they pay it off. That's the thing. A lot of countries pay it off. America.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, the bottom line is, if we do the same thing, we're going to pay it off too. It's called fiscal. What you call it? Like Elvis even said, they service debt, man. Like, geez,
but we living in 2026.
America has $47 trillion in debt, bro, and it's still functioning. Oh, hold on. If you guys are concerned about debt, this is the last country you want to be in. America holds more debt.
I know that's what I'm saying. America don't pay off.
What are you saying?
Most countries actually do. That's what I'm saying.
So what are we arguing about?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm agreeing with you the whole time.
You're sitting there arguing me. You know, I say the Afghanistan, all right, we do it like everybody else. Once you are recognized as an independent state or a sovereign state or territory, like Dubai, whatever, Dubai's not an independent country, but it's a sovereign or autonomous territory, and it's a political entity, right? People will basically back your currency. They'll look at your treasury bills and stuff like that. You can do whatever you want, build your own financial system and stuff like that. That's the break Black America needs in the world.
All right, Kyla, Dubai got 4 million people. So how many people you think we start off with?
I don't know. I don't know. The bottom line is this. The main thing is to get territory and start using the pioneering force. That's it. You know, the first 5 years are going to be pioneering and stuff like that. I wouldn't even worry about a population at the first.
I think you got to galvanize the population first so you can show the African nation that you're working with. You actually got support from your own people behind the project.
The people in America, if they want to support it, they support it by buying bonds and treasury bills from the new state. You know?
No, you got to have the support first, Kyla.
Hold on. Yeah,
you don't have to have the support before you get the land.
Black America, hold on. If you're on Black America, right? If you can't get, like I said, 1 million people, right, to support. Let me see. Let me put it to you like this. Let me give you some numbers, right? Me and David Head did the numbers. You know, crunch the numbers. If you had just a support base, not even people like I don't even care about the people coming there, right? If you had 2 million people. 2 million people, and each of those people gave $1,000. They bought a bond for $1,000. That's $2 billion.
Bro, we talk about sovereignty here, though. How are we borrowing
money? What are you talking about? Yo, what are you talking? Are you trolling me right now, bro?
No, I'm not trolling. I'm being 100%.
What I'm saying, if we have a sovereign state, they could float a bond. And anybody, that's just 2 million Black people. That don't mean if anybody else be like,
sovereign people don't become debtors.
So what are you saying? You're acting like you're arguing with me. Look, you're acting like you're against what I'm saying.
No, I'm just.
What do you say? You have not given me any credible reason why you're opposed to what I'm saying.
I'm trying to tell you right now. I'm tweaking about what you said.
Tell me what. Go ahead, tell me.
I'm tweaking what you're saying because in the same, you saying you want a sovereign state, right? And then in the same breath, you're saying we need to be debtors. Like sovereign people don't need to be debtors.
No, he's saying from the people that want a nation, he basically take a tax to build certain projects, bro. That's what I'm getting from it.
That's not. I don't think that's what he's saying.
You saying you're gonna take this money from the people that want the actual nation so you can build infrastructure in the land, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just like a tax.
Not only that, you that money. You take that money, and you could take that money and put it into friggin' to a hedge fund, right? And you take that $2 million, right? And you could, and once you have a tax revenue base, whatever like that, you could take that $2 million, right, and invest it in a hedge fund, and you could borrow up to like 5 times what that $2 billion is. You could borrow on margin. That's called borrowing on margin, you know? So, but that's what I'm talking. Countries do it all the time, you know? So I don't know what to tell you, but the fact that we don't have a good education system, people don't know how the world works, you know? Dubai said it did the same thing. Every country that started up, all these new countries you see, Vietnam and all these other people said, how do you do this stuff? Same method, you know? You basically you always need that initial money. That $2 billion that we could raise easily in America, 2 million people get on board and say we're going to commit $1,000, not even $1,000 up front, but we say we're going to over a year, we're going to put $100 a month in over a year. That's my $1,000, right? And that person has a bond, a treasury bond. And when that bond grows, you know, that $2 billion is worth $10 billion, then they got money. And they're also helping their country that they want to invest in. We could do it. You know, well, the bottom line is this is what Marcus Garvey tried to do. You know, when he raised money for the Black Star Line, he raised money for Liberia to pay Liberia's debts and stuff like that. Yeah, we organized and we did that before, you know, 100 years ago. You know, and I believe we could do the same friggin' thing again. We just got to get rid of the scary ass niggas. Oh, we can't do this, can't do that. Well, not, please. You know, the world's ours for the damn taking.
No, it's not. It's not me. It's not me saying that we can and can't do something. It's just not logical.
That's what you sound like. You sound like.
No, I'm just saying it's not logical for that to happen. That's all I'm saying.
Well, how is it not logical? What is logical? Sitting in America.
If we want to,
hold on. Less than 5% of the black money generated, the black people generate, goes back into the black community. So you're telling me taking $2 billion and putting it someplace else is not doable?
I'm not telling you that. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, that's what you said. You said it's not logical. Well, give me an alternative. Give me an alternative.
I never said anything about American currency. I never said anything about.
Hold on. You give me an alternative.
I don't know what you want to hear because I'm telling you.
Is there any real alternative to nation building?
Carla, I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, we gotta have our own nation. It's how we get there is gonna be the problem, and that's what's causing the biggest roadblocks.
What I'm saying is this: first thing you do is you got to have recognized territory, right? That means you secure the territory and stuff like that, and then you got recognition. You know, once you have recognition from the major world power and stuff like that, right now, you know, Malaysia and most countries really don't recognize the state of Israel, but it's still thriving. If you can get recognition by at least 20 or 30 major countries in the world, you're good. That means they recognize your trading policy, they trade with you, they do business with you, and stuff like that. You need trading partners, you know?
Yeah, you need population, government, territory, and sovereignty. Your sovereignty is you being recognized by other nations.
Yeah, so
you got to start with your population.
You could start with a population of 1,500 people. You know, you can start with that. You know,
you can get a lot done with 1,000 dedicated people.
1,000 people. You can start with 1,000 people and then say, "Hey, look." And next, you know, as the country grows and then more investment coming in, more and more people start coming. You know, you can't even stop them. That's how it usually works. They did the same thing with California. Who's a move to California, right? And then when they discovered gold out there, they're like, wow, man, California now became the largest state. Missouri, that's how Missouri got the thing, right? Well, who the fuck wants to go to Missouri? Missouri is a show me state. People were like, show me. We went there and said, okay, I like what I see. And they came, you know.
We got to have our own nation.
Hey, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to have our own nation, bro. We cannot. Our sovereignty is way more important. Our sovereignty is way more important.
Well, the bottom line is this. You just have to have land and you have to have recognition. You can't have sovereignty means this, you know.
We already America, got the influence.
Hold on. America pays Canada billions of dollars from O'Hare. They fly over Canadian airspace.
But that's from debt. That's from debt. That's from debt. That's not from actual.
No, it's not from debt.
assets.
No, bro, that's not from
assets.
debt. No. It's like this: if somebody flies in your airspace, they got to pay you a fee.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
You know, so that's what sovereignty is. If not, that's a violation of sovereignty. When you have land, you basically have sovereignty. You know.
Hold on. America is getting bought almost every day of the goddamn year. So what are we talking about here?
What are you talking
They still look, Dex, you can enter into bad deals with other people, but the fact that you're doing it on your own auspice, that means you're sovereign. Nobody is making America do anything.
No, but what I'm saying is this: how much land is China buying up right now in America, bro?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, what they got to do with us? What they got to do with us?
But I'm using it as an example. That's what I'm saying. I'm using that.
So we don't make deals with China and don't let them buy our land.
Yeah, what you call? Like I said, Dak, you sound like one of these FBA dudes, man. You know,
I'm not FBA at all. You
sound like one.
I'm not.
To me, you sound like you got a Moorish background because you keep talking about sovereignty in a weird way.
No, I'm not Moorish at all. That's not even true.
Are you one of those sovereign citizens, dudes?
No, I'm not. It's no such thing as a sovereign citizen, bro. The two words don't even.
Okay, you ever see one motherfucker King? Was like, yo, man, police is like, can I see license?
You cannot be sovereign.
It changes out. I say, yo, look, police like, let me see it. I don't show you nothing. I'm a sovereign road. And I don't agree to that.
You can't be sovereign.
The cop busted the window and dragged this nigga out of the car, man.
You can't be sovereign and a citizen at the same time. Those two words are oxymorons.
Nations are sovereign. No citizen is sovereign on its own. A nation state is sovereign. You could be part of a sovereign nation.
But he called me specifically a sovereign citizen.
No, because he's talking about the people that get stopped by the cops, and they say that comes from the Moorish Science Temple movement, bro.
Them dumb motherfuckers like you can't arrest me when you have no sovereignty, you have no authority, and they drag the motherfucker to jail. When not, now the judge's like, oh really? Yeah, you can't arrest me because like the treaty of such and such.
Yeah, man. Like that's one thing I hate about like the internet conscious community. They blurred everything. I had somebody tell me I was a Mason yesterday. I'm like, man, shut the hell up, bro. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about.
No,
bro.
But why you figure I'm a sovereign citizen?
Just because the way you were speaking about this whole sovereignty thing, that ain't the way most nationalists talk about it. We talking about the independence of a nation state. We're not talking about individuals claiming their sovereignty. No,
that's not what I'm talking about it as a whole too. That's what I'm agreeing with you guys. That's what I'm saying.
I got you. We on the same page.
Yeah.
The bottom line, I believe simply is the fact of the matter is right there. We get this territory. When we get this territory, because I believe it's gonna come, sooner or later, it's gonna come. I need is more black men to stop acting like little goddamn punk sissies and whatnot and get on board with this black nationalist movement.
Now the FBA movement is definitely gonna die out and the black nationalist movement is gonna rise, but what's gonna happen? It's gonna be us.
But you got too many goddamn sissy ass black American men.
Nah, you just gotta ignore them though, because I'm talking about those that want an actual nation. It's gonna be a civil war between us because we're gonna be divided on location. You're gonna have black nationalists that want their nation in the southern states of America, and you're gonna have nationalists that want a state in Africa.
Most people, I'll say like this. Yeah,
bro, I said it's already impossible, bro. It's
you cannot have a sovereign if two people can't claim themselves sovereign. America is the Monroe Doctrine. America's not going to give up no territory to you people, right? In America.
And Kyla, you know what? Somebody on the opposite side, they will tell you the same thing about your African plan. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a divide in that community.
Kyla, he's right though.
I'm on the African continent, right? And I'm talking to Africans and stuff like that, and I'm on the continent right now, right? And to be perfectly honest with you, right, if you're gonna build something, it's got to be here. You know, it's
And
got to
Kyla,
be.
and anybody, this is what I'm telling you. The black nationalists here, they're gonna tell you the Louisiana Purchase happened in real life. Now, look, Kyla, you gotta listen when other people talking, bro. They're gonna tell you America didn't always exist as it exists right now. So the same impossibility you placing on their plan, they're gonna place it on your plan too. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a divide in the nationalist community.
Also, like I said, I always say that this kid, Justice. If somebody say they're gonna get a few states and whatnot, I wish them all the luck in the world. That's all. You know, hey, look, go right ahead. That is not what I'm doing. You know, this is what I do. This is why I'm in Africa right now. You know, and I'm going to hit a couple of next year. I'm going to hit 3 freaking African countries in the Southern African region. I am going to have this territory. We're going to be back.
I support both. I think the Congo would be the best area for us.
Hey, look. So my whole thing is, if somebody like the. Now, I've been looking at the Republic of New Africa. They've been around before I was born. You know, they ain't got shit.
Yeah, but Kyla, that's a saying though. If they've been around before you was born, that means they have more infrastructure to lead. No, listen, they have more infrastructure to lead the people in to their organization. You got to build yours from scratch.
Look, check this out. Look, bro. I probably got more connections in the world than they do. You know. And so the bottom line is they've been talking all. I look at these guys and whatnot, you know, and I'm like, Lord have mercy, you know. I mean, but it's all right for them, whatever like that. But what I don't understand is this: if I'm doing this, right, this is why I'm at, right. If people were confident in what they're doing, right, why do they even gotta come in my fucking platform? Why do they fucking gotta come to me? You know?
I mean, Kiddola come up here every day, and Elvis come up here every day and argue with you, bro.
Kiddo's not trying to be a black man.
Every day. Elvis every day got an opposing opinion for you, bro.
Like I said, that's fine, but they're not trying to steer people that I'm trying to do. Like if I'm saying that we need an African, which is an African-American nation state in Africa, right? And somebody say, oh, no, we can build in America, right? Then this is not the show for you. You know, I believe in Africa. Now, if you want to do that and people do their own show and they're doing that, you never hear me say, look at these fools talking about they're going to get 4 or 5 states.
Nah, you will do that because I've heard you talk about Republic of New Africa when nobody brought it up. So that's a lie, brother.
I mean, a joke, but you will never see me go on this show and ridicule them on that. I clown Republic of New Africa all the time. You know, I have fun. You know, that's what I do, man. You know what? I can't fire. Let me see. I'm trying to get it. I can't fire on. I can't fire. I can't fire. What's going on, brother?
I'm going Liberian, boss.
Christmas Braves and says there's no. What's going on, bro? You know.
Yeah, man. Respect to you all.
Anyway,
I wanna. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, man. Go ahead. No, what's what you're saying?
Yeah, I take offense on what these FBA guys did. I think they're very selfish. I mean, like, who talking to you? Like, why are you aggravating the people at the UN building when they're not really talking to you? Ain't nobody fighting for you alone. You see me? It's like, why you think FBA is the only people? I'm Jamaican. The president said something about me too, and the Brazilians and the people in Latin America. You can't just go disrupt the people's program at the UN and act like they're speaking about you and anybody trying to take anything from you. You feel me? What about our reparation? Ain't you it's not, I'm talking about them FBA dudes, not the people on the panel. Hold
up, Icon. Let me say something. AI How 9000. The reason why I didn't put you up here because I don't know you, and you got to put your camera on. You put your camera on and let me see your face, then I'll let you on. Understand? But I don't let random people I don't know come up here. That's it. That's my role. You know.
Yeah, you feel me? Okay. So I'm saying, man, people too selfish, man, and people need to have some consideration about things. You have about almost 100 million black people in Brazil. You feel me? Who the hell talking to you alone? Why people jumping in people business like that, as if anybody speaking about you alone? You have Bahamas, you have Trinidad and Tobago, you have a lot of, hold on, one more second. And you living in your little AC, and goddamn feeling in luxury and all that. You know how people suffering in how black people suffering in Latin America and some other places, and you hear talking junk about people trying to defend us, trying to disrespect people who trying to defend us. I mean, the audacity of some Negroes. You feel me?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
So I had a question for you. So, because you said black people in Jamaica and stuff. Do you know if people around your space identify as black? Because in the defense of
Oh
FBA,
my gosh,
they don't believe that there are other groups of black people around the world. They believe they're the only black people.
I mean, the nonsense.
I don't believe that. I believe all people of African descent are considered black people, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, bro, it's the nonsense. You feel me? It's the nonsense of these worthless Negroes. Like, we all black, or even if you don't want art, look, it don't matter whatever Negro call himself.
Right.
It don't matter what ethnicity you consider yourself as. We are all the same. We get treated the same.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I agree.
And it don't matter if you're a Mandinka or Jamaican or Louisianan person. I mean, why are we making these little differences? It's like, I'm telling you, bro, we got to get rid of single motherhood, because these women are destroying us. They're raising these bitch ass Negroes that don't have they have feminine goddamn
energy.
Logic. They have feminine logic.
Yeah.
You feel me? These people don't act like they have any masculine bone. How can you, as a grown man, go to the UN and go be on loudspeaker with your bullshit? How? I mean, you don't see how stupid you look? I mean, my gosh. All the enslavers come to the UN every day, all the time, and we never go protest. And the only time some black people said something about us, we go protest? Man, it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous and it's harmful.
I said the same thing. We fight amongst each other way too much when we don't have the same energy for these other groups of people. Like, it's just that simple. But instead of they love to talk about
the FBA took a big loss today. They look freaking stupid, as I knew he would. They're out there, and I said you could show it was not even that class. Muhammad did his speech. He had Al Sharpton, several other dignitaries in Black America, high level. Why you got the black trash with their nonsense out there, and he was victorious because the UN didn't pay attention to the protesters or nothing like that, and they basically passed the resolution. So the bottom line is this: it showed me that if you want something done, you need a nation state, you need a government, a nation state.
Imagine this, Carla. These Negroes talking about Ghana or Africa wants Black American reparation. You dumbass little Negroes.
That is the dumbest thing.
What about
reparation money?
What about us in the Caribbean? Don't we not supposed to get nothing? So we don't want no American money. We don't want American money. We don't want no money from America. You feel me? But the whole nonsense of our people. We don't even look and see that you all that was protesting practically voted with America, and it.
Yeah, that's all the way. Yo, look, the truth came out today. Tariq Nasheed, he did a video. He said they stopped the whole thing with the white supremacists and Ghana. He thought it was a conspiracy about a white supremacist America and Ghana. They stopped it. Dude, you helped the white supremacists. They weren't. So in other words, he tried to make it seem like the guy. Oh, yeah, look at Tariq's last video. Look at Tariq's last video. He basically tried to insinuate that the white man was working with Ghana to steal black people's reparations. That's the stupidest shit I ever heard.
So watch this. Yeah, so watch this. America said no, they voted against it outrightly. Israel and Argentina voted against it. So you're telling me that FBA felt the same way as America? Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Why would they not agree with America when they call themselves Foundation Black Americans?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's all
crazy. But let me say this.
They're nothing but MAGA and blackface. It's all it is.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing that I've been saying for the longest, why I say we're doomed as black people. And every time I say it, black people always say we're not doomed. But when you put it all together, you know what I'm saying? We got all these businessmen and we got all these smart people. Take the emotions out of it and just look at the black race, that the things that we know. Each one of us can name 3 things, and they probably be 3 different things. You get what I'm saying? We got 6 people up there. So we can name 18 things that black people do that's detrimental to the black community. That go for men and women. And we'll still sit up there and say that the black race is doomed. It is no way any of y'all smart brothers up here and businessmen would start a business with 18 problems that's wrong with it unless you fix it. You won't even start the business. You won't even open it up.
Right.
And it's sad. It's sad to me as black people that we have this, we don't want to course correct at all. And I don't see us course correcting. In the year 2026, I don't see us course correcting at all. I see us having some.
The African community is trying to actually basically bind us together, but I feel like
they couldn't bind us together because they online talking that fuck shit too. Listen, no, hold on, bro. I was talking. You interrupted me then. But let me finish. Can I please finish, man? I ain't been up here, but 90 seconds, man. Can I get 2 minutes, please?
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that, but to say what you was just a little bit, is no African country, no Africans can bond black people together because one, just like Colin said, ain't damn African country reaching out to black people. Not goddamn talk about no fucking slave museum. Not sit up here and talk about no jambalaya and jollof. Not nobody sit up here and talk about who do the best dances and who women the finest. Not no stupid shit like that. Not one African country reach out to black people. I have been to 2 African countries. And when I tell you, when you jump off that plane, you're fucking by yourself. It is no type of place. It ain't no phone numbers. It ain't nobody to call. It ain't no fucking let you call in the consulate or something like that. But ain't no way when you go to the whole brother. God damn, bro. I see what Colin was talking about, bro. Y'all don't listen. Y'all think what you got to say is more important than what I got to say, and it's fine. But once you say everything that's false and rebuke it or rebut it after I get through talking, it's really simple stuff. And this one thing about black people right now, we always feel like we smarter than the other person, and when we got something to say, we're just gonna interrupt the other person. We can't even talk. We can't even talk together. We can sing at the same time, but we can't talk at the same time. It's just logic. But hey, who am I? You know what I'm saying? So What I'm saying is, regardless of what, ain't no black president in no country can goddamn pull black people together. Only people that can pull black people together is black people. And then we think we arrogant as fuck. We think we the best black people on the earth in America. So how we gonna let some people from another country that really we look down on? We look down on them in other countries. Now we might not want to admit it. God damn, bro. God damn, I'm talking about 12 words get out my mouth, and you up there interrupting me like a chick.
You just said something.
But it don't care. I've been listening to you run your mouth for 30 minutes straight. And I goddamn sit up. I've been hearing you talk back and forth with Carla for 30 minutes straight. I can't even goddamn get my goddamn thoughts out without you interrupting. You get what I'm saying? But when you was talking, nobody was interrupting you. God damn, show some decorum. Fuck. But what I'm saying is this. If black people ain't gonna get ourselves off our foot, then ain't nobody, and they gonna be offended by that. Now, one thing I Couldn't Fire said is that, you know what I'm saying, what we gonna do about, you know, people not choosing a side, like how we can't stick together. But I Couldn't Fire, when we're in, you're right, the police do treat us the same. You get what I'm saying? They see us the same, but we don't see each other the same. Until we have a conversation with the police, a bad interaction with the police, we separate in America. I see it all the time. I see the Jamaicans fucking with Jamaicans. I see the goddamn Trinidad people fucking with Trinidad. It ain't no togetherness. The only time we come together is when white people goddamn stick their baton up our ass. Pause. And I pass the mic.
Hold on. So, are you insinuating that police are separating Black Americans from Africans?
Then you need to change your nigga ears, bro. Because that is not what I said at all.
That's basically what you just said.
That is not what I said. I said like Icon. Let me say it again. Clean out your nigga ears, bro. I said just like Icon Fire said, the police see all of us the same. But I said we don't see each other as the same. The only time we come together is when the police stick their baton up our ass. Now, I don't know how me repeat myself word for word, you just said what you just said. And I passed the mic.
Hello there, Hassel. And please, have your own statement. Stop asking people questions. Have your own statement.
Most high, till you die, 12 tribes.
Hello there, Hassel.
Yes, boss.
Yes.
Let me get Louis on. Hey, Louis, man, I gotta tell you, I know you don't like John Muhammad, but I was really proud yesterday with his speech, very elegant.
Yep.
Elegant, Pan-African, Black nationalist, and I was like really proud because you know me, you know, I always take jabs at Ghana and to get on your nerve for that. But the fact that Ghana took the lead in this and brought something that was after all the people that came, Kwame Nkrumah, Malcolm X. All these people talked about the slave trade and all stuff like that. We had the Million Man March, everything like this. Here yesterday, something was done. It was finally being addressed on record at the world stage that this is a crime.
Main stage.
Now we can proceed further from that because now the world is on our side. So why these FBA people are mad about that?
Well,
why is Tariq mad about that?
Well, Tariq is embarrassed. He's got no other choice but to save face. He's had to come and talk bullshit. Listen, I was very proud of the team put together yesterday. I was proud of Muhammad and so on. He done well. His team done well. I was worried, and because the responsibility put on them wasn't simple because the Caribbean nations came together and they done their thing and they got behind Ghana, and then all the African nations got behind Ghana. So John Mahama, I was worried whether he'd be the man to deliver, but he didn't let us down. He done well. Even his foreign minister, Akajato Blackwa, done well. I was worried that they're gonna fuck up because I know the people. We know the people watching this. Okay, so even our Sharfton, they were all there. It was very well presented, and I think Team Black needs a tap on the back. Okay, because they done well. They even, they even got Alzani on the speaking, making sure it was very well done, right? And the countries that voted against, they got to be ashamed of themselves. Obviously, Argentina, the bloody racist idiots, and Israel, the damn arsehole.
and all the rest of it. You know, yes, I think black people could tap ourselves on the back. But what I was surprised at is how now you can see the real idiotic ones in the FBA coming out, their true colors. They went out the way to distract the speech that was made outside. It didn't work too well, right? But all they were doing is attacking black people to trying to do something. This is the first step. It's not a be on and end all, but it's at least we got it through the UN. It's been years. We're trying to do this for years, but we've actually got it recognized. But most of the world, this is the biggest crime against humanity. Let's not forget, it is the biggest crime according to the UN against humanity.
That means from now on, now on, they're gonna stop talking so much about the Holocaust.
Yes,
they're gonna stop talking about the Khmer Rouge.
That's it.
And they're going to talk about the transatlantic slave trade. Yeah, so this is really powerful for black people. They use this, you know.
That's it. We can build from here. Before, we never had a foundation by law or recognize that we can build on. Now we have, so we can build on from here. So
I got some pushback, bro. Y'all know the resolution is a non-binding resolution. It says they don't have to pay anything, right?
It's a start.
No, it does matter, bro. That absolutely matters.
Who cares?
Hold on. Is that what the problem is, bro? The reparations.
Good thing we don't care about your opinion.
The fact of the matter is,
because y'all never, Kyler, you never answered the question. How are you going? How is an African nation like Ghana or any other African nation going to force America and the European nations to pay anything without military might sanctioning?
Good king, we don't care about your opinion. You're a narcissist.
Hold up, bro. They have
military.
They have military.
The main thing is this, right?
Shut your ass, you weak ass motherfucker.
Oh, come on, fellas. Do we have to do this? Come on, man. No insults. Let's have a good time tonight. We're all friends here. The bottom line is this. The people, this basically also calls into fact the I don't know who this the man in the high thing is. I'm gonna try my best to see what he is all about. Whatever.
Is the man in the high seat, Colin? Is it the man in the high seat?
Yeah, that man in the high tower. He's white. Don't bring him up.
He's not white, but he does talk a little. He's a little 1776 a little bit, but he's not as bad. But he's not white though.
But he mixed.
No one of them.
He mixed. I'm just a fair guy, man. I'm just gonna be fair across the board. I'm gonna tell you.
Let Colin talk. I'm trying to hear him.
Get near to the mic, Colin.
All right, let me say this. Mm-hmm. Now, for years, we had groups like Incobra, been around before I was born. You know, people talk about reparations, and I look for years. Basically, I always said that we need to buy black, invest black, build black, and everything like that. And if black people could take 10% of our money, spend it inside the black community, that'd be billions of dollars flowing in our community, right? Each one teach one, stuff like that. But along comes Yvette Carnell and resurrects this whole reparations thing. Black people stop supporting black-owned apps. They stopped supporting black-owned, buy black. Remember they had this thing called buy the block? That was remember that buy the block, whatever.
It was real big.
All that was going on. Then
they killed Nipsey Hussle.
We don't need to buy the block. We don't need to buy black. We need to worry about reparations and whatnot, and then morphed into this shit, you know? Yeah. So now, therefore, they're going around talking about reparations. That's a valid crap, reparation, right? And then when you say to yourself, man, damn, it's been a lot of years, man. Nobody got no reparations, right? What does that look like? And then when California came along, right, they said we have a reparations study for 2 years, right? And then they had a recommendation, $2 million a piece for black people, right? Like, oh, we're gonna get our money and whatnot. And then all of a sudden they said, Gavin Newsom said, no, we weren't talking about cash payments, but we are going to focus on education and healthcare in black community. So basically, there ain't going to be no, look, there's not going to be no cash payout.
Yeah, they've been trying to kill it off. But what this does, people, all right.
So if there's nothing coming from it, what does the symbolism matter from Ghana?
Who told you? Who told you?
Hold on. You understand something, King James, right? The symbolism is the fact that the Europeans have somebody look. There's blood on Europe's hands, right? For the
Dude,
longest
I
time,
get
when you talk to Europeans, they always put it on Africans. Well, Africans sold
that's
each
it.
other, right? This
Africa
right
built
here
all
says,
them slave fortresses.
They only didn't.
I know if y'all was
no,
to
they, no,
ever
they
get
did, no, they did, no, they
reparations,
did, no, they,
the
no, they,
first
no,
thing
they
y'all
did.
should do is build a
Hold
mud
on,
cookie
hold on,
factory
no, they didn't.
and a soap cake factory.
Carla, he's an
All
insulting
right.
one. Get him off, bro.
Bro,
Knock him
Yeah,
dead.
get this mixed Negro off the
I
thing,
don't
man.
give a shit. Get
Idiot.
him out of here.
You see, they can't. They see. Listen, the worst
Get
thing
the fuck
about
out
it,
of my
right?
here. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear
What?
that shit.
Do
I'm
you
not
remember
dying
the
to hear.
famous?
I'm not
You
dying
don't
to
hear
hear.
his voice.
You know?
He don't
My
even
whole
have a
thing is,
black
my whole
voice.
thing is,
No.
He got a mixed voice.
Carla, see, that's the clowns you was talking about. That's what you was talking about, Carla, on Dinah's show. Those the clowns you let just come up there and talk for hours.
Yappy. Carla's got
Yeah, that's what diners
I don't
do.
do that
Dinah's got to watch that. He let too many of them idiots on there, bro. Too many idiots.
Yeah,
So
those
I don't do that
idiots
shit here. You know,
get the chance to destroy people's minds.
Yeah, when I get on there, I don't give them chance. If they keep
Well, hold on. Let me speak. Let me speak for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give me 5 minutes. The idiot said that Africans didn't build slave dungeons. Europeans built those slave dungeons. 50 of them.
Idiot.
About 100 of them on the African coast, right?
Yeah.
They traded
About
slaves
60
from the interior by arming local coastal tribes and everything like that, and instigated wars and everything. Probably Europeans knew exactly what they were doing.
What they did.
Now, here's the thing. I want everybody to take. Hold on. Yo, look, Louis, let me speak.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing I want to let everybody understand is this, right? The Protestant Reformation happened in 1011 AD, right? That was Reformation that says mankind, the Catholic Church doesn't have the authority. That was the beginning of the humanist movement, right? Mm-hmm. Then you had the Renaissance, right? Mm-hmm. You had other things that went on in Europe. You had the Age of Reason, the Age of Enlightenment. All these things was pushing people to the point where the human condition was being recognized, and this being codified in religion and law that says a man has a right to live, whatever like that. So every society was based on making sure that the human spirit and human rights is thing. This culminated into America. America is a place where we had all these ideas about individual stuff, because the Founding Fathers of America studies things for years, but they just couldn't get it together because of the Crusades and everything like that, right? There was many reasons why, bubonic plague. America was a place where they said, we're going to get this thing right. The idea that a government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall never perish from the earth, right? The idea that men should have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? But there's one freaking problem, right? That all men are created equal, right? There was one problem, right? They said to make this happen, right? We have to take the humanity away from another race of people.
Yep.
So all the hell that it took to build that beautiful society, right, was heaped on the African. We bear the brunt of this because you cannot build a society and say all men are created equal and have people working in the dire conditions and whatnot for nothing. So they had to outsource that. They had to outsource their misery. Hold on, let me finish, Louis. They had to outsource that misery to another race of people, put them in bondage so they could enjoy what they did. That's why this is important. This is recognizing that the Africans are the victims of the European transatlantic slave trade, and therefore, that's what it is. Let's put it on record saying like this. So when Europeans want to judge Africa and say why Africa is not developed and stuff like that, the state lies right now on record with what happened in history.
Very important. Very, very important.
This guy's an idiot. He said the Africans built those slave forces. You're a friggin' fool. Africans didn't have the technology to build those slave forces.
Listen, yesterday when I got on that Circular Who Dynasty show, I mean, people were so mad and against this thing, and I'm thinking, why would you be mad against reparations being brought to the top of the world, biggest, highest place in the world? Why would you be mad at that? Well, the same people that look like us,
who stood and covered the white man and cuddled the white man and protected the white man are the same goons who've been sent out to just make black people and distract black people, make us look bad. When we're outside the UN making a speech, they are idiots with foghorns screaming on top of their voice against black people. I mean, what more do you want? You said that you wanted black people to stand up. Well, black people are doing something. Now you're mad at that. I mean, what more do you?
The bottom line is this. Let me tell you something, Lewis. It goes deep in that. These are people who, on one hand, like I said, when I listened to this one girl talk, right? She'll say, well, I got into my eyes. And then she'll say, catch herself and say, well, we were already here. We weren't slaves. We're not Africans.
Well, what are you?
They don't know that they're taking our reparations money.
That's it.
They don't know what they want to be.
You're confused. I mean, if you're not African, right? Why are you mad at people going to the African burial center? Why should they even concern you? You're Indian.
That's what I'm saying. They're not African, but yet they care about why they even involved this. This is about people who are African or consider themselves Africans. Why they even bother?
Well, I'm not indigenous, and I understand the gripe. For one, if even though no monetary gain is going to be coming from this, but let's say there was, that would be one way for the U.S. to absolve themselves of the responsibility. They could say, we just gave Ghana reparations. We don't have to give y'all anything.
It's about the principle of the thing, right? You could talk about reparations, right? But how can you talk about reparations to a race of people that never look? The average white person on record, right, in our culture and everything like that, even they're doubling down now. They think they did absolutely nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong.
You can't build. There's no going for that. They believe nothing happened, nothing to see here as far as slavery. You know, they don't believe anything happened bad towards black people.
Right.
So Carla, you think Ghana saying pulling this move is gonna make the average white person that doesn't acknowledge slavery start acknowledging it?
I'm saying America cannot ignore the fact the world just
they can. They literally just did it in our face.
Yo, Carla,
I'm
asking this guy.
Hold on. They can't ignore it. It's on record. It's on record.
They can't ignore Carla. They voted against it when everybody else voted for it. What's
Carla,
the difference?
hold on, man. Hold on, Carla. Carla, let somebody else talk, man. I'm asking this guy a question, man. Well, King James, what's your problem? What did they do wrong? Go ahead.
They didn't do anything wrong. What I'm telling you is the gripe that's coming from African Americans is because they think it's a monetary gain connected to this when the UN already said it's a non-binding resolution. The problem is, look, I'm answering the question. What?
Who is the fool then?
Nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing about no fool, bro.
African Americans are the fools to be agitated about something that doesn't matter concerning
no, bro.
in your
I'm telling
view,
you why
it doesn't
they would
matter.
be aggravated, bro. You're not listening. If it was a monetary gain connected to it, this would be a way for the United States of America, as well as Britain, because they owe us also. The United States didn't always exist, but this would be a way for them to absolve themselves of responsibility of paying that. They could say, we literally just gave reparations to Ghana. We don't owe you anything.
Done talking,
you asked me a question. I just had the fucking answer.
I clarify you, bro. We ain't got to be disrespectful, bro. We ain't got to be. We don't have to. We ain't got to be disrespectful to our brothers, man. He not an enemy. What I'm saying is, you talking to him as if he's the enemy. Ain't nobody up here no enemies. I clarify you. That's all I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you, none of us are enemies up here, so we ain't got to talk to each other like we enemies.
He's trying to make Ghana look like they're doing foolishness, and it's his people doing foolishness, and he don't want to admit it.
Who am I people, bro?
All you talking about is what did it make sense that Ghana did what they did? What you mean?
Who are my people? It make sense? You fucking African with a European accent, nigga. You ain't my people, dumbass.
And Ghana, I don't care about you. Shut the hell up. First of all, Ghana was talking about the Caribbean. First of all, Ghana was hold on. First of all, Ghana was talking about the Caribbean.
Everybody take 5. Everybody,
see me?
everybody
The
take
Ghana,
5. Let's bring the temperature down. The black men,
and
and the black men and
talking about you. You just jump on the whole thing as if they're talking about you and your goddamn people alone.
Okay,
They don't need to be quiet. You know, fools, because no money was in it.
Hold on, let me get Musa.
And none of you can bully me. None of you with your foolishness. Sorry, man.
No sense,
You're not
bro.
bullying nobody, Akala. You're just talking over everybody. You can't get a conversation like that, bro.
No, it's this boy King James. He haggling the whole meeting.
My name ain't King James, you illiterate
but no energy for the white man. I think it's my
clearly
time for me
says
to talk
justice,
now.
stupid.
Let the man.
You an idiot, King James, man.
All
You're
right,
just
fellas,
interrupting the
settle down
program.
now.
Come on with it, Musa.
Everybody. I don't want to have to drop everybody down, man. But go ahead, Musa. Go ahead.
Yeah, greeting to you, Kala. What's going on with you? Hustle Smart, King Louis, what's up?
Salute, my brother.
Yeah, shout out to Ghana, man, because what Ghana did was a marvelous thing. You know, if FBA was truly smart, like they would align themselves with Ghana in a way to try to get the world attention, like to get reparation. I don't think reparation is coming. Like I've always tell you, Kala, anytime you have a group of people that enslave you, they're not going to give you anything. Their descendant and your descendant will not get anything from them. You understand? But this was a smart move from Ghana to get the world attention, to say that, okay, like transporting different group of people from another continent to a new continent was a crime against humanity. So I want to applaud Ghana for that, man. That was beautiful. But FBA is getting mad because Ghana did that.
Let me say this.
Hold on, I'm not finished. I'm not finished with my point, man. I'm
Let Musa talk, man. Let Musa talk.
I'm not finished with my point, Kala.
Applaud Ghana, King James.
Whoa, please stay quiet, man. You've been really disruptive, man. Please stay quiet.
Let Musa talk.
God damn, man. But Kala, listen, man. If FBA think like they could do that on their own, then I am sadly mistaken. Because the United States just tells you from the get-go, listen, I don't think what we did was wrong against humanity. So they were abstinent. They said no, they were against it. They were not abstinent, excuse me. Like they were against it. They were strongly against it. So when you saying when you going against the U.S. government FBA, you think you're gonna get reparation when they tell you that it was not morally a wrong thing? You think they're gonna give you reparation? They're not going to give you anything.
Okay, why in one breath you say they're not gonna give us reparations and then you say this means something? Like this conflicting, bro.
Well, listen, they just told you they are against it. They are strongly against it. What makes you think
the United States, the main nation that would owe Black Americans for reparations, is against it. So how does Ghana speaking up for reparations mean anything if the people that would pay us something, which is never gonna happen? How does this make sense, bro?
You're not making any sense. I'm
making perfect sense, bro. Ghana has no power to force America to do anything. So how does this make sense?
The world.
Do something about this guy, man.
Let me say this.
Ghana makes the world acknowledge
slavery
was a crime against humanity. FBA would have never done that.
Hold up.
That's the point I'm making.
Musa, let me say this, right? I think it was just two different things that happened at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Black people in America, FBA, were going around thinking that there's a massive movement for it, and then they intersectionally, right, thought that the reparations movement that they had that was not going no place, right? They had no power, right? This initiative instigated by the African Union, right? And Ghana being the flagship nation that said, we'll make the case, right? Because we got the most number of African Americans there and people on the ground. They said, okay, we're going to make it a thing. Now, the African Union is on record saying that, Africa never really had a chance because the millions of people lost to the transatlantic slave trade, right? The reason why Africa is in the situation is right now, because let me give you an example. Africa is $700 billion in has external debt. Africa loses $100 billion a year, right? In unfair trade policies, right? So you have a continent, right? Never had a chance. King Leopold, all this stuff like this, the raping of the Congo, they never had a chance. So what we're saying is this: from the transatlantic slave trade till now, right? It's got to be a renegotiating of deals between the Africa and the world. And it started with the acknowledging that the transatlantic slave trade was a crime against humanity.
It was the biggest crime against humanity. Don't forget the biggest.
Africa
you what Ghana did wrong.
This is the first time in our history. Let me say this, bro. It's important. I'm dropping the jewel. This is the first time in history where our histories and everything have been linked together. This is what I was against with Dr. Arikana, right? Because every time I heard her speak, she would talk about colonial. Now people, more educated people, came on and say, you know something, we know about colonialism, but what led to colonialism? And they said, you know something, the piece of the puzzle that a lot of Africans on the continent were missing in all this time was the transatlantic slave trade. That's what started this, you know? That's what gave Europeans the impression that Africans race are inferior and they could colonize and exploit us and everything like that. So therefore, this is the first time in history where the history of the transatlantic slave trade and the current state of Africa and all that stuff is linked together. You know.
All right, Colin, let me go for like 2 minutes, bro.
Hold on. I agree. I agree with what King Justice said, though. I agree with what he said. It's not going to be no course of action because they basically denying that they're going to pay it. Like they
exactly,
like,
bro.
Hold on, but you're missing the point. You're missing the point. It's not about it's about the fact that it's about the fact that geopolitically,
These
right?
boys are so
right now,
dumb.
The geopolitical order. Hold on. The geopolitical order is based on the Bretton Woods institutions, the World Bank, the IMF, all these things that control the global monetary force, everything like that, that has Africa at the bottom. How did Africa get there? You have to acknowledge that what got us there is the transatlantic slave trade.
Can I say something?
You think the world don't know that already, bro? Y'all literally trying to appeal the morals of the rest of the world.
I agree with that, Carla. They already a signed piece of paper. A signed piece of paper is not going to make them know something that they already know. But this is the thing, though. Two things can be right at the same time, and that's where y'all.
No, they can't.
Yeah, two things can't be right. Say something real
Only
quick.
one thing can be right
at the same time. It's right that this is one thing is right that this is a conversation piece. You know, if you like conversation and you like to run your mouth and you want to talk about it and you want them to theorize it and you want them to study it, then that's fine. Then that's side one. But at the same time, King Justice and Dex is right. If American denied it, that means they ain't gonna take it. So that's what I'm saying. There's two things can be right at the same time. This is a landmark. This is like Colin said, this is the first time you've got something written down on paper, but it's at the same time, King Justice is right. They already knew all this stuff. Them writing something down on paper today ain't saying that they just figured this out today. All of these countries know their history with the slave trade. All of these countries know which slaves went to where, how they went there, how they went there again. Now we sit online and we hypothesize, we come up with all type of schemes on how it happened. Them white people in the government know it, and they secret vaults. They know exactly how all this shit happened. So all I'm saying is them writing it down on paper, it made good for the people that like symbolism, but for the people and hold on, this last part, five more seconds. FBA is mad because they didn't do it. They feel like they the one that been they the ones that been kicking the cans. They've been shaking the buildings, and they didn't do it. And that's a part of just being lackadaisical because it's just an internet thing. So that's why
they don't have a country of their own to represent them.
That's true.
why Ghana represents them.
That's what I'm trying to say. Two things can be right at the same time. But Musa, but you got to agree that even though this is a good step, it's non-binary and it's nothing legal about it. So all it's gonna be is some conversation. Listen, Lewis, I'm just saying this is gonna be a great conversation piece for the next 10 or 20 years. But until America raise their hand up and say, hey, we gonna pay y'all niggas, then it's just conversation. And I pass the mic, bro.
Very good. If I can just speak for a few seconds, it's important we remember, right, how important this is. Ghana represented Africa and the Caribbean and so on and so forth. It wasn't just Ghana itself. So let's get that in. It's all of us, many countries from the South America, from Colombia to Brazil. The Brazilian president. Right, the Brazilian president was there. Many Colombia, everybody. Right, Colombia just had the first deputy black prime leader. She was part of it. They've done this was going on from Akufo's administration. The CARICOMs, we had an independent march. We had the prime minister of St. Kitts and Grenadines. This has been going on for a long, long time, from India to God.
Yeah, I don't know what this dude's talking about.
So now, what's happening is now it is now a UN resolution. It's not just
a non-binding UN resolution, not in the General Assembly UN resolution.
Hang on, brother, hang on. I know you Americans.
Yeah, be quiet.
I'm majored in political science. I know what I'm talking about, and I read the damn resolution, bro.
And you're still an idiot.
Listen, it's my turn.
Hey, your mama idiot, bitch, nigga.
Ghana have a lot of experienced people in high positions in the UN.
You can't talk about your daddy.
And we know how that works.
Nigga, I can post my fucking daddy. He raised me unlike that fucking white man that fucking birthed you, bitch.
And you talk like a girl?
Come on, guys.
How your daddy raised you and you talk like a girl?
So what it is
it's not good radio. It's not good radio. People listen to the show. They get a lot of information.
Come on, give some respect to Carla here. Right. What's happened now is that we've got something solid now that the
Carla, this dude is here disrespecting Ghana. That's what you need to know.
Yeah, don't worry about
it. You need to get him off the. He's interrupting the whole thing.
I know. Hold on, Louis talking, but let's not interrupt.
Right. Let me just land before I lose my thought. What it is now, the way the system works in the UN, we've gone about it the right way, black people. We've brought it to the world now. We got a foundation to sit on. Don't worry about America and they don't want to acknowledge it, or Britain and so on. They get saved by rattling. Okay, for them to go forth right now, Ghana can go now back to the African Union and say, okay, this is the law we're gonna make. If all the countries that voted against this crime against humanity, and it's the biggest crime against humanity, Carla, people forgetting that, the biggest crime above the Holocaust and everything else. Okay, so we got it that far. So now we could make laws say, listen, you cannot have our rare earth if you voted against this at the UN. You cannot do this, America.
Exactly, Louis.
We've got that foundation. The people in the Caribbean couldn't do it.
Now we could we could basically block the Congo now from giving Trump administration all the access to rare earth and stuff like that. This is what we're talking about.
You can't do this.
No, you can't. Not without military might. You can't.
Yes,
you ain't blocking nothing without no military, bro.
Who's our military might? What's our military might? Black people have military might? Shut up, I'm saying. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Get rid of this Negro, man. Go, man.
As far as I'm concerned,
that's a legitimate question. What military might do black people have?
No, what we've got.
I bet you they can't go to the Sahel. None of them people. Hold on. America not gonna set foot in the Sahel right now. Simply right now the Sahel is totally armed. Right now the Sahel is totally armed.
If you have any idea.
Here?
Man, this guy's talk more than the host, man. Let the host talk, man.
In order for America to go to Africa,
shut up, man. Shut up, you sellout Haitian boy.
Government to set up a base and logistics and stuff like that. That takes years to do.
Yeah.
You know? And if the resolution is not there, and the country says, the African Union says, no, you can't do that because the United States is not paying reparations and stuff like that. Trust me, you know, the United States is going to find a way how to pay the reparations.
All right, Kyla, what would make the African Union intercede on our behalf if they're not even helping the AES right now and they on the same continent?
Right.
Listen,
Hold on.
You don't get it. Hold on. You don't get it, right? You don't get it. Basically, you haven't been studying the African Union for the last couple of years.
Boy.
These people are serious about making inroads into Black America. They are really serious about this, you know? So the bottom line is this, just like I say, Black America up for grabs, right? Everybody's grabbing it. Haiti's trying to grab New Orleans from us. The African Union's trying to grab us all together. You know, Ghana's staking his claim. You know, Black America's up for grabs. What happened when you're
Yo, Kala, Haiti cannot grab anything.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what
that's a stretch right now, Kala. That's a stretch.
I don't know what y'all
that was a stretch right there, bro.
Yo, Kala, you're doing too much, man. Haiti cannot claim nothing from you guys.
Yo, King Justin, it does not matter what you think.
They've got a seat at the table.
Yeah, Haiti ain't claiming shit, bro.
Hell no.
Yeah, Haiti ain't claiming nothing.
We ain't claiming nothing, Kala, man. It's a poor destitute island.
Now, Kala, let me go for 2 minutes, bro. Let me go for 2 minutes, man.
So,
let me go for 2 minutes. Look.
Not claiming shit.
No justice. Justice.
Icon, you gotta shut the fuck up, bro. You done interrupted everybody, bro. Let me go for 2 minutes and I'm gonna pass the mic, bro.
That's what Haiti's doing.
Let me go for 2 minutes and I'm gonna pass the mic, bro. First of all,
pessimistic, Justice.
I'm not pessimistic at all. I'm a Black nationalist. We the most optimistic Black Americans you can find. First of all, the crimes against humanity situation is old. The transatlantic slave trade was deemed a crime against humanity by the UN in 2001 at the Durban Conference. So once again, this is symbolic. But what I'm talking about is more so of Ghana being able to place sanctions on Europe and America. Ghana exports about 1.2 billion in exports to America. Not a lot when we talking about just exports, but if they could say we're gonna put a halt to this until y'all give Black Americans reparations, then that would be power. Until they can do something like that, it's just symbolism, bro.
Right. Listen to me, brother. I'm telling you right now. Look, I got people in positions of power who know the figures coming in. We know the amount of Black African Americans want to come to Ghana from the Caribbean. We got the figures now, and they're getting more. There's going to be more. We've got about 10,000 at the moment, and there's going to be a lot more. So now Ghana can boldly, Ghana can boldly claim that we've got this community here. They from America, blah, blah, blah. We can speak for them. If the people in America, the government going to screw down on the people and turn around and say, we don't acknowledge slavery. You know how much of an insult that is?
Hey, Lewis, I love you to death, bro. You one of my favorite guys on YouTube. But Black Americans ain't coming to Ghana, bro, bro.
No, they already there.
Now you get from the Caribbean. Hold on, because two things. This is one thing I agree, Caribbean, because I know it's a lot of Jamaicans. I know a lot of Jamaicans, there's a lot of Trinidadians are moving to Ghana. I give you that. I give you that part. But when it comes to the Black American part, this is the only thing I'm gonna say, Lord. This is the only thing I'm gonna say. I have to agree with Kala. This is one thing Kala always say about Ghana. You can't just give people a craw. You know what I'm saying? Because Black people they don't want to just be in the city. We like to branch out until they get outside of Accra. We talking about at least 30 to 40 miles outside of Accra that can be developed with roads and all that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe gas stations, rest areas or something. Black Americans not gonna come because they're not gonna all want to just be situated in Accra.
Brother, listen.
Let me say something. Let me say something. Wait, man. Hold on, man. I'm gonna say something. Let me vouch for Ghana. African Americans don't have to go build no road in Ghana 2 years from this year. Let me talk. Let me finish. Let me finish. You feel me? Because some people is acting like they know nothing. You feel me? Stevie Wonder is in Ghana right now. A whole bunch of prominent.
Stevie Wonder.
Hold on, man. Wait,
Stevie
man.
Wonder got to do with anything?
Let me talk.
I'm just asking you, why did you bring up Stevie Wonder, blind rich ass?
Okay, fine. You feel me?
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is a whole lot of other prominent Black Americans are going over there. Just visited this year, a whole bunch of them, just this year alone. What I'm trying to say is those are the prominent ones. Those are the prominent ones. So that means the smaller people are a lot more. You feel me? So that what you talking is a bag of bullshit.
You didn't.
And also,
you just didn't say absolutely nothing. You just said You just said prominent Black people are going over there to visit. What Lewis said, that means you didn't listen to Lewis. He was talking about people going over there, coming over there to live. He was talking about people coming not
10,000 people over there now living. 10,000.
And then that's Black Americans ain't coming. You got these old niggas over there, bro. Ain't no young people going over there.
5,000 of them is Black Americans.
Let me just speak real quick. First, yes, it is a lot of young African American people going over to Ghana living there. Yes, it is. There's actually a girl over there that just went over there, opened up a business, and she's thriving real good over there. So it's like you can't say we don't know everybody's day-to-day life, so we can't speak for everybody. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
We got to be careful when we say Black Americans are not doing this or Africans.
Bro, we're not speaking in absolute. What I'm saying is that in large numbers, the young Black Americans not going over there. You name one person that's going over there, open a business. I know some brothers that went over there and started up a hotel, but because it's not enough business for Americans to goddamn make the money that they was making in America. So that's why it's a lot of older Black people over there that got pensions and everything coming. You know, it ain't. Hey, let me ask you something, King Jeff, before you say that. Have you ever been to Ghana?
Nah, I haven't.
This is the thing you're gonna run into if you ever go to Ghana or Nigeria, whatever. It's nothing unless you're gonna pop up some business just gonna catch wildfires.
Have you been to Ghana?
I've been to. What I'm telling you, I've been to Nigeria and I've been to Kenya. In West Africa. No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. But what I'm saying is, Ghana is smaller than Nigeria. It's less jobs there than it is in Nigeria. What I'm saying is that those jobs is not the type of jobs that we do in America. Those jobs are not available in Ghana.
Right, you can't just go over there and work at a call center.
Yeah, you can't go in there and work at. Yeah, you can't do that.
No, but we understand this for now. You feel me?
That's why it's a lot of older people that go there. They have their pension, retirement, they got some type of money coming in, guaranteed money coming in.
It's at a pioneer stage right now. I understand. Just like
that's
what
all
Carla
I was
is
saying, bro.
about.
That's it. I mean, I know that for a fact now. You get what I'm saying? That's not even up for debate. Go ahead, Lewis.
But a lot of people going over there, and eventually jobs will be available. I'm telling you.
But I like when y'all say that, but y'all don't never give a timeline.
No,
I just love it. I just love it all the time when y'all say that.
You have to go there and create jobs. They're not going to.
Oh my God! Then that ain't happening. Then you can't create what you gonna create something
that's
that
what he's talking about.
The other 30 million people over there ain't trying to do.
That is true, bro.
Listen,
well, I guess they would put it on our American exceptionalism and say we're supposed to know things that other people not, and be able to go over there and get it done.
Like we some magical Negroes, and we just gonna go over there and just be like, man, let me go to Ghana and just start up a business because we American. That doesn't even make sense.
It don't work like that.
And this one of the problems I have with Ghana. Hold on, this one of the problems I have with Ghana. When with the citizenship profile, I hear they rejected almost 3,000 people. And what I'm trying to say is
there's a lot more coming.
Hold on. But the reason why I'm saying is like they are trying to actually sieve us. You feel me? In terms of who they think belong. You feel me? And I don't think that's, you see, let me tell you something. Black people don't choose. Listen. Black people don't choose. Hold on, man. Black people don't choose to be Africans. None of us chose to be Africans. Africans don't have a choice who we are.
Yes, we do.
You can't say that. How you have a choice who we are when we all Africans?
I'll tell you why. Right? Because there's the Burkina Bay people, Togolese, there's Ivorians, Liberia. We're all different, but we're all black people. Okay? We have aspirations. Now, listen, we have aspirations that's very, very close to the African American aspirations of the 80s, which is the sort of world that Cosby was portraying. That's the sort of world most Ghanaians want to be, that middle class black. Okay, we're building towards that. And away from the black people themselves coming back, the trajectory for the growth of Ghana is just about to take off. Trust me, when last time Muhammad was there, we only had about 68,000 billion GDP. After Nanado left, it was 100,000. Now we're going 110,000, projected to be up to 154,000. If we get hold of our gold mining just from mining alone, we're going to push around 200,000 in the next couple of years. So people can see the projection. That's why the EEC, I'm giving you a game here. The EEC are trying to do a deal with Ghana. In fact, it's been signed by all the political parties. They want to turn Ghana into the next Japan for Europe. I'm telling you straight. You laughing? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I don't know what he's laughing about. Shut up, man.
I'm just away from.
Go ahead.
Hey, Lewis, what you think the timeline would be to turn Ghana into the next Japan? What you think?
Right.
Just spitball it for me, my brother.
Listen to me. Nkrumah had a 7-year development, and according to all the projections, he was going to do it until they got rid of him. This time, I'm giving it another about 10 years.
Okay.
You know
that sounds good.
Be there.
Yeah, about 10 years.
So that means so by that logic, I'm just being logical.
Yeah,
so that means that it would take 10 years for black Americans to see that development, because black Americans not gonna come over there until they see that development happen.
Right. Well, it's like this.
Yeah, it's not gonna be totally 10 years because first of all, Japan is independent.
So how you gonna say it? Lewis is from there. How you gonna tell Lewis that he's from there? He know the people in the government.
He gonna be close. But listen, hold on, Lewis, calm down. You're talking about Japan. They're making trains. You're not gonna make no. Hold on, man. You're not gonna make no bullet train. Your own. You're not gonna make no bullet train in 10 years. And the engine. You're not gonna make no.
Let me say.
You're not gonna make the engine.
Hold on. I've somebody studied Japan, right? Born and studied Africa, honestly. Mitsubishi, Taro Yatsaka was the founder of Mitsubishi, right? At 28 years old, right? He served the Mitsubishi Trading Family Company and mergers into the Mitsubishi Corporation, right? The government of Japan at the time gave him a charter to not only to be the main shipping company for the trading company for the Japan nation state, but also Mitsubishi was going to charter shipping to Southeast Asia, to Asia, the major mainland. Now, Mitsubishi started as a small trading post, right? And they expanded throughout the islands, trading posts throughout the islands. They was handling all the shipping. Then Mitsubishi, the government said, you know something? We know you guys got these nice little rickshaws, trading things, but we want to modernize our thing. So what they did was they invited Westerners to start the first phase of steamboat shipping around the islands, right?
Yes, sir.
Mitsubishi got on it and learned them, right? How to do all the stuff like logistics, other like that. Then the government gave the Mitsubishi 13 brand new steamboats, right? And gave them Mitsubishi, and Mitsubishi became the dominant trading shipping company on the Japanese islands. Now Japan was ready to start expanding into Southeast Asia, and they
who's going to be building ships in Ghana, don't you?
Korea.
Don't
What I'm trying to say is this stuff. Hold up. By the 20th century, not only were they master shipping, they started building ships.
Right.
Building. That's how massive they are. So we're talking about we're like almost 200 years behind in Africa behind something
Okay.
like
At
Japan.
least
Yes.
200 behind. Thank you, Carla, because I was finna say 100. I was finna say 100 years behind, but I appreciate you saying 200. I don't know what the hell Lewis talking about some 10 years.
Yeah, he's not being realistic, man. He's not being
I didn't say
realistic.
it would be fully developed.
I would say, look,
it's
I
going
would
to
say,
take 10 years
hold
to
on,
develop it to
Lewis,
industrial
you can say
standing. And then
Indonesia.
you go on from there.
You can say Indonesia. You can say Thailand, but you cannot say Japan. Japan is highly industrial.
Yeah, he from the most high, so he reached that pinnacle level in his thought process. So he reaching for the stars, man.
Hang on a minute.
Hey, Simplice and Carla, hold on, Louis. Simplice and Carla, this is one of the main problems I have with the whole continent, right? The main problem, right? Everywhere Africans are all over the place, they're trying to build cars. Why the hell nobody build no engine? Like, what's wrong with the Africans? You see what I'm saying? I don't like how they think. They don't
Give me 3 minutes, I'll break.
Right. Listen.
I'll tell you, right?
Right.
Hold on. Honda, Nissan, and Honda, right? Those three main companies, right? After World War II, Japan said we're importing cars and millions of pounds, millions of yen are leaving the country, right? So they said we got to start building our own cars, right? First, Japan was importing the parts and assembling them like Africa's doing. They were similar parts, and they were still losing millions of dollars. So Japan said, you know something, we're going to make the car part by part and everything like that. That kept going inside the country, right? And then also Japan said, look, the Western is make a whole bunch of parts, then assemble them. Japan created a new concept called the just-in-time system. That means they basically made the parts, and at the same time, it was about to be used on the assembly line. So that freed up capital, and instead of having all this capital, stuff like that sitting around, they could take that capital and use it for something else, like funding smaller operations, and stuff like that. So by the time Japan was done, by the 1960s, 99% of all its parts, 100% of all its parts were made in Japan. And only a few parts were made by like Ford or Chrysler, or Ford or GM that was in Japan. And 99% of the parts were manufactured in Japan. Now, the same thing could happen in Africa, right?
Good, right. Can I explain to you how we're going to do it in Ghana?
Wait. This is how you do it in Africa, right? Liberia
but I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished though, outlaw.
All we doing is stating a whole bunch of hypotheticals.
I'm gonna let you look. I'm gonna let you have it.
If you guys let me explain to you how we're doing it, I'm gonna explain to you how we're gonna do it.
Hold on, Lewis. Let me say. He asked about the auto industry, right? I say like this. Okay, you got countries that got iron ore, Liberia, and as iron ore and rubber. That should be the main place where tires and stuff are made. Guinea has aluminum. Bauxite, aluminum makes engine blocks. You can make it there. Each country has something else. Then when you get all the parts made, you start a logistics but you can't do that because Africa doesn't have a railway system connecting all its industrial zones.
Nope.
So Africa basically.
Listen, guys. Listen. We can
Carla. This is what Africa should do.
Right.
1 second. This.
No. You
hold on. Hold on, man. We know what Ghana doing, but we talking about things what the country's not doing. Wait, man. Listen, man. What I'm saying, this is what Africa is doing wrong, right? This is what Africa is doing wrong. All of them. Wait. Listen, all the African countries are trying to build their own refineries and own equipment and all that stuff. And that's what that's what they're doing wrong because it's like this. It's like, wait, man, calm down. You feel me? I'm gonna let you talk after this. What I'm saying is like this, right? We need Africa needs an industrial capital. What I mean is you ship your raw materials there and get it. And instead of everybody trying to build different refineries everywhere, Africa needs one country with all refineries.
Listen to this.
You feel me?
You're a dream boy. You live in a dreamland, bro. This is why Pan-African people don't want to hear it, because
but Africans got too much pride to do that.
Yeah, they got too much. They got way too much pride for that.
Yeah. You live in the cuckoo land of
So if y'all saying they got too much pride to do all this, how the hell they gonna make the world give us reparations, bro? This is what I'm saying.
This guy is cussing, and I'm with you. I'm with you. What you call it, Ghana guy? I'm with you, man.
His name is Lewis,
Ghana
Lewis.
Ghana could be. Hold on. Ghana is one of those countries. Ghana is one of those countries who can and maybe will become the industrial capital, including Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. You feel me? They're gonna become the industrial capital of West Africa. Where right now, hold on, you have gold waste, right? Gold waste. I think they call it a different name, but Ghana cannot process it. It's Burkina Faso.
Gold refinery.
No,
crazy.
No, I mean the reject. I mean the refuse. Listen, calm down. Hold on. I mean the refuse. Listen. I mean the refuse. I mean after gold processing. I don't know what the name is called. Remember what the name is called. But the gold, the leftover processed material still have gold in it. You feel me? And a lot of countries all over Africa have them, where the processing went through already. But what I'm saying, Burkina Faso have developed their technology in terms of they can process gold out of that.
Do not compare Burkina Faso, any of the areas, with where Ghana is at. Just give me a break, will you please? You sound like a laughing fool.
That's how prideful you are?
Stop listening to that stupid fucking Russian propaganda. Okay? Please. All right? We've got gold refinery. We've got the stamp from Bank of England. They certify our gold. Our gold is traceable. Okay? Second to South Africa, we've got the main gold thing and we're about to kick it off the ground. It's up and running already as we speak. All right?
We know that, man.
Carla,
calm down.
Carla, do me a favor. If you go on Google, you don't have to put it on the air. If you go on Google.
But are you making engines? Is Kantanka making engines?
Kantanka, he started off making engines. That's what he became famous for. At the moment, they're not making engines. And our main scientist, Dr. T. Mensah, who died 2 years ago.
They was not making no engines.
Hello. He became famous for making engines in the 80s. That's how he got his name. Okay.
Yeah, but that's a big problem though, Lewis, right? They ain't making
no African country make engines. No African country make engines.
Hello, can I tell you how Ghana is going to do this?
Tell us, man. Come on with it,
bro.
Tell us, man.
We've got large deposits of manganese on the ground. It's been there since the days of Nkrumah. Been there for years. America stopped us trying to develop it. What we're doing now, we're using that manganese to turn it into steel, aluminium, aluminum, and then we've got steel deposits in northern Ghana. We're going to bring all that together with the Chinese, and we're going to create the metal that creates the car bodies. We're also linking up with South Korea to build a shipping plant. We're going to have a shipping plant in the next 5 years in Ghana making ships.
They do have electric cars now.
Right. Yes, we Toyota assembling electric cars in Ghana. Hyundai assembling electric cars in Ghana, Suzuki assembling electric cars in Ghana, VW assembling electric cars in Ghana. All these white people look at all this, and we've got everything running properly now with democracy.
So how many black companies are developing electric cars in Ghana?
We're gonna develop in a way that suits us now, which is where we don't have the knowledge, we invite the people with the knowledge to come and work with us so we can train our university students. Okay, Germany, have just come into the field, which is furniture production and that many other things, and they're making parts for all sorts of stuff, door manufacturing, furniture, everything. Ghana is pulling in all their strength from all right where they were. The embassies are working now to bring.
Sound like we getting economically colonized.
To turn our raw materials into finished products.
They're doing well.
Nkrumah was on the verge of doing it. They got rid of him because of the CIA. Now things are different. Now we're turning
talk about
and we're going forward that way. Okay, that's how we're gonna do it. How long let me finish? You keep interrupting me, bro. You rude.
Let that man talk. Just let him talk, Icon. Just let him finish. Go ahead, Lewis.
Right, we've got a program now. My cousin, if you go online, you type in Ewa Darko. He's with the president today, showing him his big rice factory. That's my cousin. I can pick him on the phone now and speak to him. He was running for deputy premiership of Ghana, but they wanted a woman, so he lost out on it. Okay, he's a well-to-do man. Because of family politics, I decided I'm going to do things my way. So I'm in the know. I know people on the ground and what's happening in Ghana. So I'm telling you, the EEC have gone out of the way to identify Ghana as the place they want to mainly invest to stop people running away from the West. They're going to help develop Ghana so that people will come down there and the development of West Africa can start that way. Okay, so there's a lot happening. All right, so we've got a way of developing, which is going to be our own natural way. Plus, we're going to use the other people who have the knowledge to do what they're doing to come to us. Now, Japan is full. South Korea is full. They need other places to build. China is full. They can come to places like Ghana and build. That's how we're going to help. We're going to industrialize our place.
Hey, dude in the comment just said what I was thinking. That black dude making gasoline out of plastic right now.
Nature jab.
There's loads of stuff going on. What they need is capital injection, and it's coming because the economy is growing, and there's lots of foreign investors going to come in. But you got to control the foreign investors.
All right, let me say something, Lewis. Now, this is all fine and well on a small scale because if it was done, let me finish, bro. I fought for you with Icon to let you finish, bro. The thing about it is, it's done on a small scale, and like the brother was just finna say, that all these businesses are ran by other people. You get what I'm saying? So God is just getting a cut, and then the employees. It's no different from when the Americans shipped the auto market down to Mexico, just because it was cheap labor. You know what I'm saying? Cheap labor. So just because they shipping them to your country to do, it doesn't mean that the country is in business with them. They just getting a percentage and hiring the people, and then the people is still making below the minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? That in the United States is not really nothing. But this is the problem. With all that investment, Ghana is still 700 billion in debt, and they're not bringing in seven.
No, we're not. We paid off all our debt. It was only 3 billion. The economy is worth over 108 billion.
Ghana's you saying Ghana right now is 100% out of debt?
Hell no.
That's not true, Lewis. Come on, bro.
How much money do you think we owed?
They don't owe a lot, man.
We finna find out right now. We finna find out right now.
Lewis, just wait, bro. Come on, bro.
Ghana's public external debt stood at approximately US 29.4 billion at the end of 2025.
No, okay. We can afford to pay off
29 billion.
It's a
29 billion.
All right, 29 billion. Okay, Lou, but that's 29 billion is a long way from what I said, and this damn sure a long way from being nothing. If you think they can, that's just like that, Louis. That's just like you saying you owe somebody and you tell them I can pay you off if I want to, but you still owe them. So, but that doesn't make sense. You can pay. Hold on for a second, Louis. Let me explain something to you. Like my credit score is 824. You get what I'm saying? I'm 26 off from 850. You know what I'm saying? I can screenshot it and show it to you. But the only reason how I can get that credit score like that is because within 30 days, I pay off anything I owe. Matter of fact, credit cards company, I'm one of the rare people that the credit card people pay. You know what I'm saying? Each one of my cards, if you know how to use them right, and so you find out which one you get 3% here at Costco. You know what I'm saying? Some cards you can buy food at. You know what I'm saying? You get a discount. From each one of my cards, each one I got like 8. I get about at least $200 or $300 a month, when other people are paying 18% interest. So it's all about if you have the capital to pay it, you pay it. Why would you pay interest if you don't have to pay interest? Because that money that you're paying for interest can be done in further development of the country. Now, I'm a logistics guy. All of y'all are smarter than me. You got the other brother with the legastics, which I don't even think is a word, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I spit with logistics. What I'm saying is the problem is that Ghana is sitting right there on the coast where it's at. In order for it to make some money like that, some serious money, it would have to take control the same way like Colin said what Japan did. It would have to start watching what all these other companies doing, build some type of land out there and start imitating what they doing. You get what I'm saying? As long as you're gonna, this is the reason why I say black people are doomed in America, because we're professional employees. You get what I'm saying? If we continue to be professional employees, if we continue that all our businesses that we run are either some entertainment,
in order to have a business, you got to have employees. So what's wrong?
I got you. That's what I'm saying. A lot of the business, a lot of the business that Americans have, you know what I'm saying? I know plenty of Americans that own businesses, you know what I'm saying? The average people they got hiring is maybe 3 to 5 people. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's the problem right there. And then the problem in Ghana is that they're hiring a lot of people, but it's not the Ghana government or Ghana businessmen that are running those businesses. So you got these other entities in there, but this is the main problem. The main problem is that all these other countries don't work together with each other. So you can have another company next door in Togo that's making just like they said, Liberia, making the rubber, but how you gonna get it there? You need to train, and you can't do it in trucks because of the heat, the African heat. Let me just teach you something about logistics. The reason why some products in America, we can't ship it in the trucks, what I do for a living, is because of the weight shift and the heat makes the product, those raw materials, if it gets too hot, it spreads out. You get what I'm saying? And most of the inside is wood. It'll catch on fire. So you need that power.
Why don't we take our American dollar and just go over there and build some shit? Like why?
But that's what I'm saying. That America's not gonna do that, and they damn sure ain't gonna do it with the shit right here. Because now you got FBA mad as fuck.
Yeah.
Listen.
So this is what I'm saying, Lewis. This right here is a good thing for West Africa and Caribbeans. Black Americans, LBA ain't gonna be happy with this at all. So actually, it helped Ghana and Caribbeans and people in the diaspora, but it did not. It actually pushed another wedge with the FBA. And I'm not saying Ghana is wrong. I'm just saying that FBA they're gonna have the same thing to what they say is that, okay, we the reason why they can do this, and this all back is all been the same. It's gonna be that same argument, so that now that argument is gonna even get higher. It's gonna erupt like a volcano. But hold on though, Lewis, this is what I'm gonna be on your side about. Black Americans, it's just like I see when I go to all these trade schools that sit up here and give out degrees if you don't get but a C average. When I go to all these trade schools and I deliver, all I see is foreigners up in there. You know what I'm saying? All I see is immigrants up in there. I see the black people hanging out on the corner. I see the black people in the club doing nothing.
That's systemic though. You can't say
I understand, but what I'm saying is that instead of FBA being an online, you know, saying chatterbox, they could have tried to put something together too.
Let me just say,
and they just didn't, and Ghana beat them to the punch, and that's gonna cause the rift with that. Go ahead, though, brother.
Let me just say this.
No, go ahead. You got it.
I stay in California, right? And a lot of the things, like you said, with the trades, a lot of things are similar out here. Like for instance, they had a lot of the immigrants coming over here or whatever, right? And working for a lower wage. So it was taking opportunity away from me because I'm quote unquote a technical citizen, right? And they would have to pay me the wage that's owed to me legally, right? But then you got these people, so it's taking away the opportunity from me because now they would rather not hire a Black American or even a white person, anybody in that sense. They're rather
they were doing that here, brother. They were doing it here with the East Europeans.
Yeah, they're hired the people for the lower wage. So it's like it's only benefiting them because they're not getting legally they're not legally held accountable for the you know what I mean?
Labor.
Like so it's, for the actual labor. So it's like
at the moment, the jobs being created by all these companies out there. Because don't forget, the new law that came in is that you cannot export to Ghana or Africa second-hand goods, second-hand cars. You're polluting, yeah. So that helped the companies from Far East to come and set up.
Hold on, what law are you talking about?
Right.
What law is that? Is that African wide or that's because?
No, that's a law that was passed. You know, a couple of years ago, they were going about the environment and all this.
What you saying Africa? Are you saying Africa? Or you saying a country?
No, it's a worldwide, right? Exporting secondhand.
Nah, that ain't true, Lewis, man. They got them shipping. They got Lewis. I'm just telling you, man. Just the other day, they was over there in Savannah. They was over here loading. They got a whole big ass field, probably about the size of Atlanta, the whole of used cars, and they ship. They ship them. They put them on ships, shipping them over there.
Yeah. How old are the used cars over there? Because you cannot ship a car more than 10 years old to Ghana.
Okay, I thought. Okay, see, they go to caveat. They go to caveat. Go ahead.
Could I say this also? So by them taking jobs away from Black Americans here, why don't we just Africa just be like, okay, we're gonna pay y'all a fair wage out here, and then we build some shit out there? It's because it's like basically they're replacing us, the low wage workers, Black people, all type of different people, you know what I mean, but mainly Black people, and they're replacing our jobs.
Well,
like
that's
you said,
why
with the hold on, even with the trades and everything, why don't we take our knowledge and everything that and our technology over there and build over there? It's like
that's what the African government
hold on.
wants.
Let me just speak real quick. It's like it's not impossible, but it's far from possible, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like every Black American not gonna get up, stop their day, and do that because they don't see the benefit in it at the moment. You know what I mean? Until somebody like me or somebody that has the mindset of doing it, and then they start getting monetary gains off of it and gain big off of it and become rich as Elon Musk. Then you got a whole bunch of people hopping in it trying to do it.
But then
you know what I mean?
Then it's just you employing your people. Like people gonna do anything that's gonna increase their quality of life, bro.
Right now, what Africa needs, okay, is skilled craftsmen, people who make things for nothing. Like I said, I make furniture from the tree to the finished product. I'm the sort of people they want. If you could, any business you can do, right? You need to be in Africa because it's cheap labor. You just have to get your machinery over there and get the country.
I ain't knocking you, Prince Lewis. I'm sure you great at what you do, but Africa need like a Steve Jobs and an Amazon or something. That's what y'all need, bro.
Hey, good. Listen to what he just said. This is the number one problem. This is the problem. The logistic is getting that, because see, this is the thing. They don't. Them Chinese people and all them people that own those heavy equipment, they're not gonna let you. They ain't gonna sell it to you. The good. You get what I'm saying? The good justice. So what they so what Lewis said, he just said something that's the most important thing. You gonna have to get that equipment over there. And you gonna hold on. This is the most important part. And you're gonna have to get the parts over there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And on top of that,
then you're gonna have to get the students to replicate it.
Yeah, you gotta replicate it.
You're not gonna be able to replicate it. That's gonna be the problem. You're not gonna be able to replicate it.
We have engineers and stuff. What I'm saying is, we already got the material over there. We just gotta replicate it in the right way. It's not about
no. They don't have the material to make the parts and the chemicals. Like it's way more complex than that. I understand how y'all saying that they got all the natural material. They don't have all the materials to make everything in the world. They don't
have the material that the natural material was made into that made the equipment.
Yeah, they don't have the materials that they pulling out the ground that they making all the money. You know, the cobalt, the coltan, it's raw. But the solution, just like this, it's a brother that tried to open up he tried to say, like, I'm gonna go over there and do a porta potty business over there. Because you know, bathroom is scarce. I can only speak on Nigeria and Kenya. I'm telling you, bro. Don't drink how we drink water all the time. Though you can't do that over there in Africa, but ain't nowhere to use the restroom unless you're gonna pull it out and whip it out on the streets. It just is what it is, bro. But what I'm saying is, the brother tried to open up a porta potty business, but what he found out is that blue solution that's in the bottom. You get what I'm saying? That you cannot ship it. Yeah, you cannot ship it overseas.
Yeah. But you can go and build it, not portable ones. Just
hold on. Yeah, you can find something that works naturally in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
Imagine
that,
how much
but
more
hold on,
difficulty that puts into his business versus just doing it in
but
America
let me
when they're
tell you
with
why
this
he
shit.
couldn't do it, because they don't have what we have over here, that septic business that comes suck it out. They don't have that business over there. See what I'm saying? Like it's a three-step process to us.
No, but that's like nitpicking. You got
No, that's not nitpicking. I'm just telling you what they don't have. So it's almost like that movie where you say they got hamburger but no lettuce. They got a hot dog but no buns. You get what I'm saying? So it ain't nitpicking. It's a fact when you're trying to run a business and you can't even get the solution over there to do the business. That's not nitpicking, bro.
I'll let you talk. Let me just hear me out real quick.
No, go ahead. You got it.
It's ways that can be done. That's the littlest.
Tell me the ways then.
Right.
Tell me the ways.
Even if you gotta put something that's natural that devours actual manure inside the goddamn pork potty, then that's totally fine.
Have that in Nigeria.
No, you can't do that, bro. You cannot do that.
They have things right now where you could put shit in there that dissolves manure naturally. What are you talking about?
You can't do it because you got to have a place to sit. It's environmental, bro.
Yeah. You got to mass produce
environmental
that too,
issue.
Hustle.
It's amazing how we think like that. Like we think something so simple as environmental. First, you got to have a place that stores the place. You got to have those big, those the good King Judge. You know those things that people put in they're like big gigantic septic tanks that look like underground bunkers. You have to have that. They don't have that over there.
Right.
Well,
That's
so
what I'm
basically,
saying.
it's like all these problems with businesses definitely have to go through the governments of Africa to be fixed. Basically,
exactly. And you have to go through the government. It ain't just like, hey, I'm gonna go. Then you gotta go. Where's the truck at that sucks out the septic tank? They don't have that.
Right.
Yes, we have.
You can have people do that shit by hand, bro. Literally.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
have them do it by hand.
You got disease. You got to deal with it and all type of shit.
Bro, them motherfuckers don't even wear gloves over there. Goddamn fucking with the food.
So you can't bring gloves over there?
Hustle. I don't know what part.
Yeah, you can't bring a pair of gloves for goddamn 200 million people.
Bro, it's a way you could mass produce it over there, bro. It's not
But then why they ain't doing it then?
You guys,
because you went to the wrong country.
Exactly.
Why they ain't mass producing gloves then, bro?
Yeah, man. Oh my God.
So
I don't know
are
what
you
Nigeria
seriously
you went
sitting
to.
here telling me that no Africans own gloves in the goddamn countries?
No, you saying something different. You said that it's a way they can mass produce gloves, and I'm asking you why they're not doing it. That's the only question I ask.
No, the question to you is, do you really think that they're not doing it?
He's saying it ain't just like we could go to CVS or Walgreens and go get some gloves. You can't do that in Africa.
No.
Yes,
No.
you can. Come on.
But it's amazing. Hey, Lewis, it's amazing that you stay in the UK. I just left off of goddamn out of Nigeria. Just left out of Kenya. And you can't go. You can go to shop. They major grocery store is ShopRite. They ain't got no fucking CVS. Hold on for a second. They don't have a CVS. They don't have nothing equivalent. Hey, the King Judge, you remember when we used to have Ralph? What's the other one we used to have? It used to be low budget with the little blue sign.
Randall's.
How do they build
Something
Kroger.
Yeah, they don't have that. When you go in there, bro, I'm talking about it is basic and scarce.
Olga, how do they build inner cities with no gloves, no mass production of gloves? How do they build infrastructure in Africa if they have none of these things?
He's not saying they don't have it at all. He's saying they don't have it as readily available like we got it in America. I can go to the corner store and get basically everything I need. You feel me?
I'm really asking him though. I'm saying if they can't mass produce these things, then how do they build inner cities?
Mass production is not in Africa big scale, but it's coming there. It's there.
I just wanted to let the brother talk because he ain't never been there. So I'm just letting him talk. They don't build. They don't build mass, bro. They build it. They build like snail pace. It might take them 6 years to build 6 miles worth of road.
So you can't buy no gloves in Africa, is what I'm hearing.
I'm telling you that it will take them 6 years to build 6 miles of road.
You know how in America you will drive by a place, they'll be putting up an apartment complex, and then 6 months later that motherfucker be done. It ain't happening like that.
That ain't happening like that. Matter of fact, the building might be up, but the surrounding area, goddamn, looking like you're in Amazon. They ain't gonna build a street. That's the difference. Hold on, this is the last thing, Lewis. The problem is that when the sun is shining is good, but when the rainy season, they have it's like the Amazon. So what they do, my brother, is that when they build, they don't put those things in the ground or on the interstate for the water. They don't have a water drainage. So it just floods.
I ain't even think about it. Plumbing in Africa ain't even like they don't have bayous and shit like that.
No, listen. Some places got
these motherfuckers is shitting in buckets and shitting in bags and throwing it out the bag.
listen.
That's some shit we were doing in slavery time, dog.
Hey, but hold on, they got dung beetles cleaning that shit up. Like, come on, bro.
Bro.
Outhouses.
Let's not act like.
That dude said dung beetles.
That's true.
Are you for real, bro?
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact.
Yeah, you're right. They definitely got dung beetles, and they got mosquitoes with malaria.
And that's the biggest problem, bro. If Africa was winning, bro, it wouldn't be no FBA, bro.
It wouldn't even exist.
Listen,
But that's the fact of the matter is that Africa is not winning right now. So we got to.
We are winning. We are winning, and we're going to be doing quite well. Certain places are not winning, like where Hustle Smart went. They're not winning over there.
China is in Africa building all that shit, bro. Like,
Prince Louis, what makes West Africa different from a place like Rwanda, where we could clearly see they got infrastructure, clean streets, and stuff like that?
Listen, Rwanda,
they got a different mentality.
Hello. Rwanda is a dictatorship that was held up by America and American propaganda. It's only Kigali that's a bit developed. The rest of it ain't nothing to write home about, bro. Okay?
Gotcha.
So yeah, let's not get carried
away. So you saying it's similar to like the South African situation?
Nah. Because the black people, what he's saying is that Rwanda is like Darth Vader, and then the CIA is like the grand wizard that speaks in his ear. But the black people run the show. It ain't like South Africa is the white people run the show. The white people in power.
Gotcha.
It's a difference. But the difference is that you got to remember the good King Justice that Rwanda is small. It's smaller than South Carolina.
And it's mainly mountainous.
Yeah, they call it the land of 1,000 hills. So you're gonna get that calf work over there, bro. That's why they so fucking skinny. You know what I'm saying? Now the one thing they do good is on Sunday, they make everybody shut down. All businesses shut down, and they all get out there and clean up.
See why y'all can't adopt that in West Africa?
Man, please.
Listen, well, number one is not a dictatorship there, so you can't be get forced. And two, in the villages, the chiefs have cleaning days. Okay, and I'm proud to say my dad's village was the cleanest one in the whole Ghana.
In the whole Ghana,
bro. That's what's
up. My cousin is the development chief. He's got the place locked down, clean as anything, everywhere. You don't see like clay mud on the street when it rains. We got proper drainage, everything. But my cousin is the development chief in that village, and his standard is high.
Hey, let me say something real quick, Louis. Hey, the good King. Let me tell you one of the issues about that renting business. That you know how like if you're in America, you're in California, you know, like you can ride down the street and you can see like Ryder, or you can see like a place where you can go in there and rent out some bulldozer or some land clearing equipment. That does not exist.
Man, you can't even rent a lawnmower in Africa.
You can go get a lawnmower. You got to go buy that from the Chinese people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you got to go buy that. What I'm saying is that how we can rent heavy equipment in America, if you know how to use it,
go right to Home Depot. You get a cement maker in America, bro.
But if you show them Home Depot in there, they might slap you. There ain't no shit like that. It's nothing. It's nothing that even, hold on, let me tell you something. It's nothing that even 10% of Home Depot.
Everything you can get in America, now you can get in Ghana. Trust me, I don't know what part of Nigeria. Mind you, you went to Nigeria, so I can't really speak.
That's what I'm saying. I'm coming. I'm coming, man. I'm gonna chill in Kumasi because I can't deal with that hype of the city part. You get what I'm saying? But I am gonna do a little bit in Accra, but I'm gonna be in Kumasi for the most part.
Kumasi
But what
is
I'm
under heavy repair at the moment, so you're gonna be a bit of traffic, but it's gonna be worth it. Just go
yeah,
well.
I ain't even want to talk about the traffic, bro.
Yeah, but
I ain't
you
even
get sorted out. You get sorted out. I tell you the problem we've got is that when you build, because the roads are only so much to go around. When you block one road, you try to turn the rest off to go in another direction. There's not many roads for people to go down, so that everybody ends up going the same way. But with
Lewis, you just got a way of saying it, but I just got to be honest. You know how, like in America, you can just if traffic is bad, you can get off at the next exit and go around. They don't have that. They don't have that.
We don't have it.
You gotta keep driving.
You are stuck, bro.
Yeah, listen. When the white people left Ghana, there wasn't a single paved road. So that's how far those of us native people know we've come. So don't forget.
It ain't no turnarounds, ain't no roundabout, ain't no making
y'all ain't got no I-10s, no 610 loose, no I-35, none of this.
Listen, no access roads, bro.
Right. Listen, just go on YouTube and have a look at the individual countries. At least you get an idea of what you're going for.
Hey, the good king, bro. You're gonna be sitting behind a dude on a motorcycle.
The thing about it though, if the Chinese could go there and do that shit, anybody can go there and do that shit.
Oh yeah, it can be done.
But see, hold on. This is the different parts about the Chinese people. One thing that when I saw that when I was in Nigeria with the Chinese peoples over there doing the business, one thing about the Chinese people, they build little areas for them. They got their own. They built the hospital. Chinese went over there and built their own hospital. They built their own schools. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that when we hear people say that if somebody else can do it too, these other people is going over there. The good king is they going over there with the support of their country, their government.
Yeah.
If we go over there, we butt naked like Jody's stepdaddy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't disagree with you, but I don't agree with you in the sense of America wouldn't want a foot in Africa like that. Like, you know what I mean?
They won't let us go.
America don't. Why would they want a foot in over there when they can easily do the CIA, just like Lewis said, bring the CIA over there and just listen. This is the problem, Dex. The problem is that you can buy off an African for $23.27. That's the problem.
No, but just listen to me. Why would they do it? Why would they send military might over there when they could just do it as simple as just getting a foot in there by citizens? So
they don't gotta send no military. They can send a white professor and they gonna get accepted.
They send the goddamn passport Brad over there. Listen, I know your intentions is good, but what I'm saying is it don't take that much. All it takes is a white dude with $23 and a couple of band-aids and some alcohol pads. And they calling him Jesus.
Yeah, you can send a white yoga instructor over there. They gonna get accepted, bro. He gonna be a chief.
They gonna make him a chief. They gonna make him a chief.
No,
but you gotta realize, it could be that simple, but it's not gonna be that simple according to our dollars. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
but it doesn't. What I'm saying is that no American is not gonna get in the business of supporting black people to go to another country. They just ain't doing it.
Just listen to me on this. You're going to have to pay them, the government there, and then on top of that, it's going to cost you material. Then it's going to cost you workers to actually build the shit too. So don't just think about it like, oh, I get $23 and go over there and build some shit. It's not that simple.
Right, brother. Listen. I've been wanting.
Yeah, but who want to go through all that shit? Then you got to go through all the red tape, and you have to pay everybody in Ghana. That's one thing. See, you know the good thing about America, you can pay somebody. You know, you can go to the city councilman or the person that's in development, and you can pay him, and he gonna tell all the other people, "Hey man, he in line. So I'm good. Everybody will stay in line." That ain't how it is in Africa. You got to pay because they got these what they call these stops. They got these stops by every 7 to 8 miles. I forgot about that part. Not only the traffic, you have stop points too. And
You
you
know
gonna
how
have to.
in America it be like fake niggas that be the parking people. It be fake cops over there stopping people.
They're not fake cops. They got road checks. They got road checks. You know what I'm saying?